Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the sixth leg of the Athletics Kenya-Betika weekend cross-country meet here in the vibrant town of Mosocho. And today marks the historic moment, of course, as we step up into the first athletics event of 2025, continuing the thrilling journey that has taken us through the landscape of Machakos, Kapsokony, Iten, Bomet, and all Kalau. As we usher in the new year, the energy is palpable and the competition fairer than ever. This series showcases a rich athletics prowess that brings together some of the finest talents our nation has to offer, from the seasoned journalists, rising stars, and every race here is a testament that hard work and passion together with determination is what is needed to make sure that at least we have a year that will take us to Tokyo, because it is the road to Tokyo 2025. Stay with us as we give you plenty of action and promises, an unforgettable experience where speed, endurance, heart of will collide with a thrilling back in the field. Let's embrace the spirit of sportsmanship as we kick off 2025 with the sound of the gun echoing in Mosocho Kitutu Chache constituency. The road to greatness continues, and it begins right now. This being the sixth leg of the weekend cross-country, of course, sponsored by Betika. It brings across names from various camps, various teams, various experiences, and of course, various ambitions from different athletes. And right now on your screens is the 6 kilometers under 20 women race that I'm seeing familiar faces, and I'm not alone. I'm with my usual partner, Bernard Rotich. Welcome and Happy New Year. Good to see you, brother.
Happy New Year, Mulemi. And
Yes.
good morning and Happy New Year to our viewers. It's a good day. Of course, it's a sunny, as you can see from the screen here, the beautiful scenery from Kisii. And it's a good race that we are expecting today. Of course, the 6 kilometers under 20 junior women ongoing. And of course, the current athlete leading, that is Cynthia Chepkurui. That's from Lemotit. And of course, we've been talking a lot about Lemotit Camp. You saw the product, what happened on the 31st of last year. That is the eve of the new year. Beatrice
Chebet breaking the 5 kilometer world record. And I just happened to watch one of the TV channels, and I saw you giving an insight to whatever happened there. It was really a thrilling moment. And Beatrice Chebet, congratulations. Kenya proud. Congratulations for carrying the mantle. Congratulations for the 2 Olympic gold medals in Paris last summer. And of course, congratulations because you've just set the pace, and the Lemotit camp right now on your screens, of course, is Cynthia Chepkurui, born on 4th of September 2008. She's leading Diana Chepkemoi and of course Joylene Chepkemoi, who've been standout performers in this cross-country series. What's the secret to this? Because we've seen them in Machakos, we've seen them in Olkala, we've seen them in Kapsokony, we've seen them in Iten, we've seen them everywhere. They are just outstanding, and it tells something about these athletes, the consistency.
Exactly, that the consistency. You can talk of consistency. They've always competed in these events, and they know what they're doing. And of course, Cynthia, it's a sprint finish for them. And of course,
it is Joylene just about edging out Cynthia. This is one of the scenes we witnessed in 10 coming back to happen here in Kisii.
In Kisii, yeah. they were really looking forward to win this race. And it was a calculative move for Joylene because she was hanging right behind Cynthia.
And of course, in third place, of course, bronze medalist from Lima, Peru. That is Diana Chepkemoi. She couldn't just keep up the pace despite leading for better parts of this race. But then the first race of the year has just shown us that this year 2025, is a year that people will not be taking anything for granted, because we've just witnessed a sprint finish in the 6 kilometer race. It's not happened before in the previous races, but this is the first. We are seeing a 6 kilometers under 20 race being finished on a sprint one.
That's true. And of course, talking a little bit about Joylene. Joylene has been training under Coach Ngisirei, that is a junior coach. And of course, she had the part of all of last year. She had an injury and she couldn't compete in these events. So I think it's a good comeback for her, and she's really doing very well.
Of course, Cynthia Chepkirui coming in second, of course, and Diana Chepkemoi in third. Diana and Cynthia, of course, coming from the same camp, that is the Lemotit camp. It is something that tells you a story about the camp, which has been, of course, producing very, very good athletes. We've talked about Beatrice Chebet, the record holder over the 10,000 meters and 5 kilometer in the women category. She actually comes from this camp, and just watching her documentary the other day, and I was like, yeah, I think she's breaking the barriers, ensuring that she's doing what she has. And of course, we'll be looking forward to hear what Diana, Cynthia and Joylyn have to say after completing on the podium in these 6 kilometers under 20 women. The first race of 2025, wherever you are all over the world. Welcome aboard. This is Athletics Kenya TV, and of course, the event is being sponsored by Betika Gaming Company, who've been very supportive and of course giving us all the insights and everything that we need to know. And of course the prize money coming in handy, and I'll be handing you over to Bernard Rotich. Will be speaking to Joylyn in a bit, because we know what champions are made of. We have to know what the secrets are, and we have to know exactly what they had to say after finishing on the podium. Joylyn, of course, winning, Cynthia in second place, and of course Anna Chepkemoi coming in third. So we'll be waiting to hear what they have to say. And Bernard, if you can hear me, take it away.
Because we have a winner here, that is Joylyn. And Joylyn, utuambie mbio ya leo imekuwa namna gani?
Haya, kwanza ningependa kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa ulinzi wake na upendo wake. Ya pili, jina langu ni Joylyn Chepkemoi. Kocha wangu ni Robert Ngisire. Nashukuru Mungu siku ya leo ameniwezesha mpaka nimewin. Sikuwa natarajia nitawin, but Mungu ameniwezesha mpaka nimewin. Nashukuru sana.
Tuliona hapo nyuma ulikuwa umenakimbia kutoka nyuma. Labda ilikuwa hesabu ulikuwa unapigia hii mbio ama nini?
Kuna ukikimbia na vitu ukwe na hesabu kidogo. Kama watu wako strong na esa test tukimbie mbele na urudi tena. Sasa mimi nilikuwa nimeona hii game si rahisi. Nikasema inataka tu mathematics ndio uweze kuwin.
Last year yote umekuwa ukisumbuka na injury. Labda mwaka huu ni mwaka wako?
Nashukuru Mungu nimefungua mwaka vizuri. Naona this year Mungu ataniwezesha. Na nimeona hapo mbele nitakuwa champion kama Beatrice Chebet, meta wangu. Nashukuru sana. Tulitrain naye before nikuja hii race. Tulitrain naye na alini support. Nashukuru sana.
Asante sana. That is Joylyn. Huyo ni Joylyn ambaye ameweza kushinda mbio hii ya leo, and of course we are going to alikuwa namba 2, that Joylyn was second. Of course tumepata results hizi, and of course we are going to talk to Cynthia Chepkirui from Lemotit camp and get to know how she had planned for this race. And of course Cynthia has been able to represent Kenya in the Africa cross country last year, and of course she is bringing in a lot of experience to this race. And of course Cynthia, labda anza na jina lako alafu tuambie mbio ya leo imekuwa namna gani?
Kama jina naitwa Cynthia Chepkirui kutoka Lemotit camp under coach Paul Keme. Pili, nashukuru coach wangu Paul Keme kwa sababu mazoezi ananipea imenisaidia leo. Tatu, mbio ya leo ilikuwa competitive, lakini nilijaribu mpaka nikakuwa position 2.
Of course tunaambiwa wewe ndio umeshinda kwa sababu mlimaliza wawili, lakini hatuko tunajua nani ameshinda. Wewe ndio umeshinda, labda unajisi namna gani?
Najisi niko na furaha kubwa sana kwa sababu nimeweza kushinda.
Umewahi represent Kenya kwenye Africa cross country ambao ulikuwa namba 11 nafikiria. Labda malengo yako ni gani mwaka huu ambao umeanza?
Malengo yangu sahi na prepare kufunja rekodi kama Sandra Felix Chebet.
Of course huwa mna train na Sandra.
Sandra Felix Chebet ananisaidia sana kwa mazoezi na advice kila siku. Ngangane kwa mazoezi, hata wewe itafika siku yako ya kushinda.
Asante sana. Huyo ni Cynthia kutoka Lemotit camp. Of course, we have the third athlete here, and that is Diana Chepkemoi. Diana represented Kenya in Peru, Lima, Peru, the World Under 20, and of course she managed to win a bronze medal in 3000 steeplechase. Diana, mbio ya leo imekuwa namna gani?
Kwanza acha nishukuru Mwenyezi Mungu. Tatu, acha nishukuru coach wangu, Coach Paul Keme. Jina kwanza ni Diana Chepkemoi kutoka Mosocho Athletics Training Camp under Coach Paul Keme. Mbio haikuwa mbaya but upepo ndio mingi, lakini nilivumilia. Nilikuwa nataka nichukue nambari la kwanza, lakini ya Mungu kanipea 3. But mwili ijarudi vizuri. Nilikuwa natoka Spain juzi na tulikuwa tumeenda race 3, lakini naomba Mungu tu anirudishie mwili. Nilikuwa huko Chefsaita, lakini nilipata ajali ndogo, lakini karibu nipone. Nitarudi tu, naona mwili sio mbaya. Acha nipige mazoezi. Ikifika national nimekuwa mzuri. Na siriko acha ni prepare sirikwa, na nitaamini nitachukua nambari la kwanza. Nashukuru kwa hayo.
Of course, baada ya cross country labda unapangia nini mambo ya track?
Acha niende nipige mazoezi, but kwa 3000 meters still just nitaweka world record. Yeah.
Asante sana. Of course, that is Diana talking about looking forward to break a world record in the 3000 steeplechase, which is being currently held by Beatrice Chepkoech of 8:44.32, and I think it's a good thing because she has a mission. She wants to break the world record, so I think she is going to start on well. And of course, Mulemi, as you've had the interviews, what do you think about the junior race?
I've watched over a long period of time, and because you look at the level of competitiveness, the level of competition, it's something that I can say promises fireworks coming into the year, where we'll be hoping to have more podium finishes during the Tokyo 2025 World Athletics Championships coming up later on in the year, because Diana, of course, winning bronze in Lima, Peru in the 3000 meter steeplechase, and she aims to break the world record. And of course she'll be hoping to compete with the likes of Beatrice Chepkoech, who is the current world record holder, the likes of Yavi Mutile, who is the current Olympic champion over the distance, and of course the world champion for that matter, the likes of Faith, who are also competing in the same category. So it is a race that will be longing to see what happens when the track season begins. But right now it's all about the cross country, which is the last weekend cross country meet, the 6th leg, of course, having witnessed spectaculars in Machakos, Kapsokwony, Iten, Ol Kalou, Bomet, and of course we are here in Mosocho-Kisii constituency, a constituency that has vibrance when it comes to agribusiness. And we can see the environment here is really cool as we await for the start of the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race that begins in a bit. I will be waiting to see what happens there. But if you're joining us, we are live from Kisii. Big up to everyone who's watching us wherever they are. And of course, I'll be talking to some of the Athletics Kenya officials, of course, the partners, Betika. We'll also be talking to a few legends who've come here to witness this, those who've already set the pace in the yesteryears. But it's all about, look, that is the latest Kenya treasurer, Gwenyi, who is the host of this event, coming in live to you from Mosocho in Kitutu Chache. And that is Mr. Peter Angwenyi, and of course the Athletics Kenya president, retired Major General Jackson Tuwei, in the house. The legendary Charles Asati is also in the house. That shows you that this place has rich history, and of course those who are here will tell you that this place, Cardinal Otunga, apart from being a pedigree in academics, also brings to you legendary moments. And of course this school has produced some of the greatest legends in world athletics history, and it's commonly known as the Red City. and it's just a few yards away from Senator Onyonka's place. And the Mosocho Open Cross Country in the 1980s shaped the careers of the likes of Paul Tergat, Some Muge, Boniface Murande, Sisa Kirari, Oanda Keronchi, Winfrida Kwamboka, Naomi Mugo, Rose Cheriot, and many, many more. We've seen the legendary Asati here in trying to see and nurture the upcoming talent. It's all happening here as we await for the start of the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race. A battery of journalists too coming down here in Kisii to try and capture one or two moments here. But at the end of the day, it's all about winning and winning quite some fortune. Just taking you through the number of entries, the 6 kilometers under 20 women. We had 61 total of 119 entries, and only 61 collected their bibs. And the 8 kilometers under 20 men, total of 133 entries, but then only 43 collected their bibs as per yesterday night. In the 2 kilometer loop women race, 25 athletes have collected their bibs. 10 kilometers, 26 athletes. 2 kilometer loop men's race, 45. And of course, the biggest entry of the day is the 10 men's race that will be coming up later on, being the main event of the day.
Of course, I have seen Kisii Express. That is Merimora.
Is it Nyamira or Kisii Express?
It's Kisii.
Are we in Kisii or Nyamira?
We are in Kisii. So, of course, she's one of the guests who is awarding the prize. And of course, I think these are motivation to the athletes because she started here and she's now one of the guests who are going to give out today, to hand over the gifts to the athletes, the prize money that is.
The prize money of these athletes was quite some good money compared to, let's say, the previous years where they could just walk away with maybe some amount of money. But this time around, everything seems to be coming in order because for the 6 kilometer podium finishers, 30,000 shillings for the winner. That is the number one. In number two, 20,000. Number three, 15,000 Kenya shillings. And then from number 4 to number 10, each walks home with 10,000 shillings. But those are the podium finishers. Joylyn, of course, Cynthia and Diana. Joylyn walking home with 30,000 Kenya shillings. Cynthia walking 20,000 shillings and Diana 15,000 Kenya shillings. That will be the same for the men who will be competing in the 28 kilometer race that begins in a bit. That is Diana Chepkemoi, who came in third, collecting her check of 15,000 Kenya shillings.
So Mulemi, I think there was a small confusion. So because it was a sprint finish and we didn't know who won, earlier we had said Joylyn is second, and I think it's now we can see Joylyn is the one who won the race, and Cynthia Chepkurui came in second. Yeah.
And of course, it's rare to see photo finishes in cross country, and we've just witnessed one today. Cynthia Chepkurui receiving her 20,000 shilling check after finishing second in the 6 kilometers under 20 women runner. That is the winner, Joylyn.
Yes,
30,000 shillings richer. And of course, there's a time they were in the same camp.
Exactly. But of course, Joylyn went to the other side of that it was issue, almost Chepsaita there, under Coach Kisii. And she's coming up well because she's coming back from an injury and looking forward to a great season. And talking to the athlete, you could see that she's really focused to this upcoming season. Of course, that is Mary Mora, the world champion. And you can see this event is the road to Tokyo. Of course, Mora is looking forward to defend her title at in the 800 meters. Of course, we'll be talking to her later here so that you can be able to hear what she says and what is the road to the Tokyo in terms of competing in various events looks like to her.
Of course, a champion's moment. Winners, podium finishers in the 6 kilometers under 20 women race, having a photo session with the world champion over the 800 meters, Mary Mora, who is the chief guest in this event. As we wait for the start of the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race. 44 10 winners, and of course everyone who comes here knows the importance of finishing in the top 10, because you'll walk home with something at least.
Of course, I've seen one of the scribes, one of the journalists, Angwenyi from this region.
Angwenyi from the Star newspaper,
yeah,
having his camera taking moments, capturing in.
Of course, it's a long season, because remember, World Championships will be in World Championships will be in September. So we are looking forward to a greater season. So the athletes have a lot of work to do. Maybe we'll be talking tomorrow shortly.
Yeah, of course, we wait to talk to Mary Mora, who's currently one of the finest 800 meters. One of the finest 800 meters runners. And on the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race that is set to begin shortly. The athletes just warming up in the last moments before the storm. .43 athletes expected to compete in this one. Just to remind you, of the results from the under 20 6-kilometer race. In first place was Joylin Chepkemoi. Joylin Chepkemoi won. We'll be giving the timings in a bit. Joylin Chepkemoi won, with Cynthia coming in third and Diana in second. So Joylin Chepkemoi won in a time of 19 minutes 51.1 seconds, followed by Cynthia 19 minutes 54.2 seconds, and Diana 20 minutes 7.7 seconds. So we'll wait for the start of 8 kilometer men's race. Just to remind you, a couple of races lined up. After the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race, we'll have the 2 kilometer loop race for women, the 10 kilometer senior women race, the 2 kilometers loop men's race, and finally the 10 kilometer senior men's race. In about 10 minutes time, we'll be So the race is expected to start at exactly 9:50 a.m. Kenyan time. And the athletes look to be set up for this. And of course, this is the first Athletics Kenya event of this calendar year 2025. Couple of dignitaries, of course, in the house, and they're led by Athletics Kenya President, retired in General Jackson Tuwei. Area MP Honorable Anthony Kibagendi tells me he couldn't attend this because he has other commitments in Nairobi. If you're joining us, we are live from Mosocho-Kisii Chache.
Mulemi, if you can see at the summary of this event, the entries, we have very few athletes, because if you see, the highest is 61, I think 77 from the 10-kilometer men's race, and then we have 45 to 2 kilometers loop men's, and then women's 10-kilometer 26, 2 kilometer women, that is 25, and then under 28 kilometers men is 43, and 6 kilometers under 20 women we have 61. We have very few, those are a few athletes compared to the last 5 series that we've gone. And I think it's because now we have a lot of athletes who are going to participate at the discipline forces, which is now happening next weekend. And then we have also counties taking place at the same time. So I think most of the athletes now, they are now targeting these events. They are looking forward to these events. And remember also, the athletes who competed in the 6th series will get a chance of being invited to compete at the Siriko Classic event, which is a world athletics event, which will be happening next month in Eldoret. That is at the Lobo Village in Eldoret, which will be actually the last event of a cross-country series. So I think most of the athletes are now concentrating on various events that are now coming up in the next few coming weeks.
As we await
Okay, thank you so much, Mulemi. I'm joined here by Kennedy Tanui, the competition director. Tanui, it's been 6 series so far. What are some of the big takeaways that you have from this season?
This season has been very great, save for the Christmas break that we went, and we are seeing it coming back nicely in the new year. One is that there has been a lot of competitions, motivated by several factors. We are doing this as a build-up for Road to Tokyo, and now we are seeing that we are climaxing. The 6th series is here in Kisii, and we are seeing competitions. It's not the perennial names that you'll always hear. New names are coming up, and I think that is what is happening. The challenge here being the new. Imagine just yesterday we were celebrating the new year, and we here compound here, and the schools are opening also on Monday. Part of the traveling logistics might hinder part of our athletes being here, and I think that is the major thing that is an observation. But otherwise, the competition is still there. The athletes are still enthusiastic to run. We see the number of junior athletes that have registered is very promising, especially from Nyanza South and Nyanza North region. This is very promising.
Moving on now, we are looking at the national championships for the cross country. What are some of the expectations that we should be having?
First of all, you find out that we want to thank first of all the federation, together with our partner Ak-Betika, who have decided that we are going to host this event in Eldoret Sports Club on 8th of February, and we are optimistic. First of all, Eldoret Sports Club is very iconic for cross country. We've held there several times national championships. Preceding it is the longest cross country in Kenya ever held by a private investor in athletics, that is Discovery Cross Country. So we'll have it 2 weeks before the nationals. I'm very sure that we are now gearing up for it, and we are very optimistic that nationals will be hot just like every other.
Thank you so much. As I'll hand you over to Mulemi and Rotich as we prepare to start over the 8-kilometer men's race. Over to you, Rotich and Mulemi.
Out here, Solomon Parismie, Brian Osoro, Aaron Kiplangat, Brian Kiplangat, Paivon Osega, 4 laps on this course, the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race. Beautiful scenes there as they trek the first lap of this one, going through the flat surface on downhill. Trying to see how they'll navigate this one. Quite a fast one. Beautiful images there of the Cardinal Otunga School here in Mosocho as it hosts the 6th leg of Athletics Kenya Betika Cross Country Series. Not a big entry today, but then the competition has been top-notch if we refer to the previous race that was the 6 kilometers under 20 men's race. Couple of interviews lined up with Charity.
Thank you once again, Rotich and Mulemi. I'm joined here by Abraham Mutai, head of the digital marketing. Mutai, kindly, what has been the impact between the partnership that you've had with Betika, the cross country series? You also have now the Magical Kenya and the mountain trail running. How impactful has this been for you as a federation?
Thank you so much, Charity. First of all, let me wish everybody Happy New Year because we are in the new year. Secondly is that I really want to underscore the fact that the coming of sponsors and especially Betika into our events has really made our events more attractive. And when you look at the series that we've had for the cross-country series, it has been the most successful cross-country series because considering the numbers, the other day we were comparing the numbers for the last season and this season, is that we have almost 300 increase in terms of the numbers that we are receiving now. Considering also the prize money, we had almost a 400 increase in the prize money, which tells you that there's a big relationship between the prize money, the sponsorship that Betika has brought, and the attendance of the athletes into the events. The publicity bit of it has also been big, realizing that now we are doing a live coverage of this event, and Athletics Kenya has made sure that the event is not only happening here in Kisii or anywhere else, maybe Kapsokony or E10, but somebody sitting somewhere in the comfort of his sitting room, bedroom, or whatever he is able also to attend this event using technology. And that has really changed everything because unlike before, whereby we were just doing our events in isolation, nobody could really tell what we were doing. They could only read the next day. Right now, our feasibility is very high and we are able to really update Kenyans, update the world, what we are doing. And also when it comes to the champions, they are happy because our athletes are now well rewarded. Our athletes are now able to participate, considering that even the kind of reward that we are doing is that we are rewarding top 10, which has not been the tradition with cross country. We've been doing top 6, but now we also have gone to the top 10.
Perhaps okay, we'll get back to Solomon. We'll go back to Rotich and Mulemi for a brief outlook on the cross-country event.
Thank you very much, Charity. Speaking to Mr. Abraham Mutai, who's the head of digital marketing. Athletics Kenya has been doing a great job. Of course, the visibility is huge.
From the comfort of your room, following the race, and they told you have many athletes following from Japan, from Europe, all those places, South Africa, who want to know what is going on and from. And the 6 places, Betika series, is really important. As I said earlier, this will give you a chance to compete at the Super Club event, which is so that you can get an invitation. It's an invitation event. You cannot compare to the one we had in Chipsider, because that one was open to everybody. But the Cerebral Classic is an invitational event. So those who competed in the 6 series, I think they are safe. National, all the way to the national, they get a chance to compete.
And talking to Mr. Tani, the head of finance Athletics Kenya, who's about the importance of having the incentive to into this like that as from up in this one is still very close to call, but then Brian Chesang of Sinoni, but then at the importance of having these incentives, you can imagine from rewarded despite everything. It's not happening for, and after this 6 series of the Athletics Kenya Betika cross country, we are seeing quite some interest growing. And you look at this lineup, it is very, very competitive. It looks very fresh, and you look at
Yeah, of course, for this event, you'll find there are scouts also who want to see how these athletes are competing. Remember, you don't have to just battle it out to be in the national team. You can run here and somebody can see that you're doing a good job, and you can be able to get a chance to join one of the managements, of course, where athletes are being given some contracts, and then you can also be able to get a chance to get a scholarship for the upcoming juniors. So running here is just not, you don't have, even if you don't make it to the top 10, there's something good for you. You can be able, if you're in school, you can be able to continue running, training, and someone will be able to see you, or you'll be able to get a chance to compete in other events internationally. So of course, one of our seniors, I call him seniors, that is Elias Makori, former sports managing editor at the Daily Nation. He wrote something about this place. You know, he schooled here. He was here, Cardinal Otunga High School, and then of course he's saying that the red city in quotes, where he schooled from Form 1 to Form 6, and before that, he was at the other side. That is the next door, St. Mary's Mosocho Primary School. Of course, he's saying that in the 80s, the race that was being held here in this school shaped the likes of Paul Tergat, Some Muge, Boniface Merande, Sisa Kirari, Owanda Keronji, Winfrida Kwamboka, Naomi Mugo, Rose Cheruiyot, and many, many more. So having schooled himself, having schooled here, you can tell that is how he came to love athletics, because I think he was also playing basketball. He will be able to tell us and clarify that. But I think most of the athletes started their careers here, as you've had even Paul Tergat managed to compete here.
We all know also the larger Kisii region being a hub of sports, not only athletics. We've seen some of the Kisii schools dominate in other disciplines like basketball. We talked about Cardinal Otunga and basketball. It was a great institution. Big name, of course, when it came to basketball. Just yonder there is Iterio, which was very great when it came to football. Kisii school, just as you enter Kisii town, those are some of the big institutions that not only academically did they shine, but also they've shown over the years for curricular activities. And right now we are hosting one of the biggest events in this region, the sixth leg of the Athletics Betika cross-country series. And something unique about this is that it's the first time it's being relayed live from this region, which makes it even special. And what Mr. Abraham said is something that can always be taken to the future, whereby maybe looking for at this footage, the images, the scenery and everything, it becomes even better. On 14th of December, we were in Kalau, remember, under the trees, big trees. It was quite challenging, but then it was a really nice experience. We really enjoyed that, and today we are in another place, a very beautiful scene, and those are the youth athletes who ran earlier on in the day. I can see Mr. Asati and Mr. Ngwenyi there. They were awarding some of these athletes, and it's something that has been happening across all the legs, all the way from Machakos to Kalau, and now we are in Mosocho-Kisii Chache constituency here in Kisii County, and we are bringing you the second event of the day. That is the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race, that is happening right now. And those are the upcoming talent. You say that you are rewarded for your work, and they are now getting rewarded, and looking forward to see what they can offer in the future. The t-shirts, the tees might look oversized right now, but I know they borrowed that maybe to run here, and we've had some athletes borrow even spikes to run on international level. So it's something that tells you that this is the determination that is needed, the kind of spirit that is needed, and sportsmanship at its best. And on your screens right now, that is the leading pack in the 8 kilometer senior and 8 kilometer under 20 men's race, and it's really close to call. But then you look at the technique they're using to run, very unique, and it shows you that there's quite some experience, and it's all about exposure. What can they get out of this one? Emmanuel Someki Lemiso. After running in E10, performing really nicely, he's back here and he wants to make a mark.
Yeah, it's a good race so far. This is the second event of the day. Of course, we've had the other races early in the morning. That is the junior races, and of course we are waiting to see who will be able to emerge a winner in this race and or make it to the podium. And of course we have the likes of from this area, that is Charles Migiro, Pamina Stinega, Davis Onyinkwa, Andrew Nyankabaria, Anthony Jabuta, all from South Nyanza South, Amos Mauya Gekara. Then we have Brian Chesang Tuya and Franklin Kilesi. That is Brian from Sinonin Camp and Franklin Kilesi Gisa from South Rift. And then also South Rift has Benedict Joroge, Emmanuel Somekulamis, of you've talked about him. We have St. Camp, which has Jackson Machuka Moindi. Remember, St. Keberesi has a good history. We have athletes who've done so well. We saw Mary Nyaboke and Dorika Isoe. Of course, they competed at the ISF secondary schools cross-country championships last year in Nairobi. And seeing them competing here at home, it's not their event, but they managed to finish top 10. I think they were in position 5 and 6. So these are the athletes who are looking forward to conquer the world. Of course, they finished Form 4. They just did the exams. They are waiting for results, and they are waiting to see how they will perform. And of course, we have Aaron Kiplangat from North Rift, Brian Kiplangat from South Rift, Jairas Kipkorir and Ronald Kipkoech from Sigawet ATC. And then we have also Brian Kiptongetich from Sigawet. And then Metetek Harrison Santamo from South Rift. All these athletes are looking forward to a good race, and we are waiting to see how this event will unfold today. I think we are almost talking to the president, Athletics Kenya. I can see the president there. Let's see what. Let's hear what the president is going to say. That is World Athletics Vice President.
Of course, a great man who's really taken the name of Athletics Kenya to global scenes. Of course, his credible leadership, and we'll be waiting to hear what he has to say. Jackson Tuwe. When your bib number falls off, are you penalized?
It's really tricky for the officials to know what really happened, because you might be leading and you don't know your number, but of course you'll have to get back to those who are manning the route to know if you started the race. Remember the athlete who joined the race in Nairobi. I think it was Nairobi. Was it Standard Chartered or Nairobi City Marathon? I think it was Standard Chartered. He joined the race in the last minute and pretended that he was winning, which was really, of course, the technology managed to get him out of that place. And of course, we are going to hand over this to Charity, who is talking to the Athletics Kenya president, that is a General Tuwei. Yeah, so let me hand over to Charity.
Thank you so much, Rotich and Mulemi. I'm joined here by the president for the Athletics Kenya, who is also the World Athletics Vice President. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to everybody. All the athletes, wherever they are, and all the officials. I send our greetings for the new year.
Mr. President, so far, when you started the series, how has it been for you? Yes, I'll also interview him. How has it been for you, and so far, what are the biggest lessons you've learned this season for the cross country?
Well, thank you very much. Today we are here for the last cross country that we have in our calendar. As I said yesterday, because we started in Machakos, we have gone to all the other 5, and today we are finishing here with the 6th cross country, which we planned in our calendar. And we are happy that at least after a long while, we have a partner and a sponsor that has accepted to come and support us in the sponsoring this event, particularly the cross country. So you saw from the beginning, the first thing that we did is to raise the prize money, and I'm happy that at least the athletes have appreciated this, and of course everybody else. So it's always good to have, one of the lessons is always good to have partners, it's good to have sponsors, and I'm urging other sponsors also to come, not only to the cross country, but others, because we are now transiting into track and field, and we would like to see more sponsors coming so that we can take care of our athletes, we can take care of our events. You can see, for example, that the program here is starting right on time, on the minute. And so these are the kind of things that we want to improve so that athletes don't come and warm up and then stay there for too long before they start, because the reason why there's a program is that it has got to be followed. So we need to follow the program. And of course, the other lesson that I would like to tell all our members and everybody else is about the registration for every event. And I think we have said this several times. We want everybody who is going to run to register a day or 2 days before the event. You cannot come and register the same day and run the same day. That is no longer allowed. And I would like everybody to understand this, because there is a reason for that. We have got to produce the start list, we have got to produce all the records, so that whoever starts the event, the actual day, is gone through the whole process, and we understand and we get to know how many we have got, how many people we have got. We have checked the ages and so forth and so on. And so that is another very good lesson which has come up. I remember, for example, when we were in Kapsakwony, there was a whole team that came to Kapsakwony and they had not registered, and we could not allow them to run. And so people should not take it lightly. It is a serious thing, it's a serious business, and it's a requirement, by the way. And so from the beginning of this year, I hope everybody has gotten the message, and we are not going to have that kind of challenge once again. So everybody who is going to run, it doesn't matter what event it is, then registration is done much earlier, a day or 2 days in advance. Third one is about age cheating in the category that is below 20. We have also discovered quite a number of cases are still there, and I think we have talked about this. We have issued instructions. Unfortunately, we are still having that problem, and it's all because of documentation. So again, let me just give a warning for the last time, that for everybody who is involved, the regional officials, the coaches, the athletes, everybody who is involved, let us all check and make sure that the athletes who are running below 20 are actually below 20. And because we cannot wait until the last moment for us to come and discover here. And yet we have got people down the line who can actually do that and send the people to come and register who are qualified. Not to come here at the last moment and then we start discovering that there's a problem or so. And we are going to take this very seriously. In fact, we have put up a team now. We in Athletics Kenya, we have put up a team for both from Athletics Kenya and from the government institutions, so that we check on all these documents and find out where is this problem coming from. And I believe in the next 2-3 months, we'll be able to announce the results that we have received and see how this can be done. But for the moment, I want everybody to be responsible, everybody, including even the athletes, because an athlete cannot be handling the documents which are not his or are not correct, because every athlete knows exactly what it is. We have got birth certificates, we have got ID cards, we have got passports, we have got all these things. We have got the school leaving certificates for those who have gone through the school. And I'm sure even the principal, those who are in school, I'm sure everybody has got that document. And therefore, we should not be having this problem at all. And we want to finish it. We want to eradicate that. Thank you.
Our president is also flanked by the principal, who is also our host here at Cardinal Otunga School. Asante sana. Happy New Year. Kwa majina unaitwa nani?
New Year. Mr. Okay Ezekiel, the senior principal of Otunga High School, Mosocho. So allow me to take this time to welcome all of you to Otunga High School for this 60 AK cross country. It's a privilege that we are hosting you. And when we talk about Cardinal Otunga, we have been hosting these competitions early, but I want to thank the AK for seeing it fit that this one for this year is going to be hosted here in Cardinal Otunga. So in terms of facility, we have good facilities for our athletes, and I want to say that as a school, we are committed so that we can partner with AK in every way, so that we can be able to develop, identify and nurture talents within our community. So for the entire community of athletes, I want to encourage you that do more, put more efforts, and as a school, we are here to assist you, to support you where you can, so that you can develop your talents well. And I also want to say that as a school, so many athletes who have competed at the international level, they are products of this school, and now we have got a specific and a definite objective that we want to go where we were in the past, so that we'll be able also to produce world-class athletes. And we have made a request to the Athletics Kenya that they allow us to have a training camp here in school for the under 20, so that we can be able to develop the talents well. Otherwise, I want to wish all of you well and enjoy while here in Cardinal and the Kisii County. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Hopefully to see you next as we award the winners. Sorry about that. That was the World Athletics Vice President and the Athletics Kenya President, Lieutenant General retired Tuwei, talking about the lessons that we've learned so far since the start of the season. As I hand it over to Rotich to interview the number 1 and 2.
Thank you so much, Charity. Thank you so much, Charity. Of course, we have the winner here, and that is we are going to talk to the winner so that he can tell us how the race was today. Labda anza na jina lako na utuambie mbio imekuwaje leo.
Kwa majina ni Emmanuel Emiso Someki. Nashukuru kwa leo kwa sababu nimeshiriki tena nambari kwanza. Wakati ulipoanza hii meetings ya cross countries, tulianzia 10. Ita nikashiriki nambari 20 na ngapi. Tukaenda Bomet. Nikashiriki nambari ngapi? Tukaenda Galau, official wakaniharibu. Wakaniweka kilomita 10 na mimi ujue ni junior. So mbio yangu ni 8,000. Wakaniweka 10,000. Sasa hapo ndio iliniangusha. Lakini kwa leo nikasema sikufi nini? Sikufi moyo. Nikakuja hatimaye nikashiriki tena nambari kwanza na ni Mungu tu ndio anabariki warusi mtu. Na nashukuru pia coach wangu na wasasi wangu wa kunishikilia kwa sababu walijua niko na talenta, wakaniambia wakanitafutia kambi. Ambaye sasa ndio huyu coach wangu kama mnavyojua, coach wangu ni Charles Ngao. Tunakaa Nakuru. Ndio.
So labda uko na mpango gani mwaka huu ambao tunaanza? Mwaka
huu ambao tunaenda kwa sababu niko na kuna mbio za shule. Na mimi niko la pili form 2. Mimi niko form 2 Nakuru. So najaribu pia hiyo nilikuwa naruka filimbi ya maji steeplechase. But mimi ndio niliongoza hadi nationals. Pia hiyo. Ndio. Yeah.
Asante sana. And of course as you've heard it comes from Kericho. Wacha tuongee na namba 2 pia. So anza na jina lako alafu tuambie mbio leo imekuwa namna gani na unafanya mazoezi wapi?
Kwa majina naitwa Yakon Emmanuel. Mbio ya leo ilikuwa mzuri sana. Ndio kulikuwa na weta kidogo sana ya upepo. Lakini hiyo sasa tukachukua namba ya 2. Training yangu naifanya kaunti ya Bomet. Na naona kazi inaendelea vizuri sana. Tunashukuru Mungu kwa hayo. Asante.
Mwaka umeanza, labda uko na mpangilio gani mwaka huu?
Kwa mwaka huu mpango wangu ni kuikata timu ya Afrika na hiyo sasa nitashukuru sana. Asante sana.
Asante sana. Enda pale. Tuko na namba 3 pia hapa. Anza na jina lako alafu tuambie mbio leo imekuwa namna gani, umeanza labda mwaka umeanza uko na mpangilio gani?
Kwa majina ni Ronald Kopkoech kutoka kaunti ya Kericho. Mbio si mbaya. Nimeng'ang'ana hadi nikachukua namba 3. Nashukuru Mungu vile ametutendea.
Labda umeonaje weather leo na labda hii ni cross country yako ya ngapi kwenye series ambayo hii ya Athletics Kenya?
Hii ni cross ya kwanza kwa nini?
So labda ni mpangilio gani uko nayo umepangia mwaka huu ambao unaanza?
Napanga niingie timu ya Africa cross country.
Asante sana. Of course, that is number 3 in this race, and of course you've heard them talking about preparations for the year. They are going to compete in various events as a part of preparation for this season, which of course after the cross-country season we are going to start the track season, when of course the cross-country events normally act as build-up for these athletes. If Mulemi, you can hear me, I think what do you think about the junior events that has ended?
It's been a good one, of course. In between the interview with the World Athletics Vice President, we witnessed a very good end to the 8 kilometers under 20 women men's race, where Emmanuel Somelik Lemiso from South Rift won, and Diagon Emmanuel coming in second, and Ronald Kipkoech Ngetich of Sigoet ATC coming in third. It is a race that we saw quite a good finish, because it wasn't so much full of drama, but then I've just had the interview with Emmanuel Someki Lemiso. He says he finished 21st in 10. Then I don't know what happened in Bomet. He didn't compete. Then he won in Bomet, didn't participate in All Kalau, but then he's come here and won it. So he's a double winner of the series. That means that he's proving a point, and I'm sure heading into the track season he'll be aiming to have a point to prove. But just revisiting the president's speech, the president really insisted on clean running, has insisted that all athletes that are competing in the age categories must be in the right age, and it's something that he says is being tackled by Athletics Kenya as they prepare athletes for future assignments, including the Road to Tokyo 2025, courtesy of Athletics Kenya and Betika. And also the president has also stressed on the need to register early for events. It's good for planning. He's pointed out that in Kapsokonya, a couple of athletes came on the material day to compete, and they hadn't been registered into the system. And it's just a reminder that the online registration process was open to all these athletes at the beginning of the season. We'll be confirming if it's still on, but then this being the last cross-country series, it means that now it's time to head into the big one, beginning with the Sirikwa Classic next month in Eldoret, before in Uasin Gishu, sorry, before the National Athletics Cross-Country Championships to be held in Ruiru on 8th of February. So next month also promises two big events, and of course courtesy of Betika.com who've come really in handy to ensure that everything that happens here happens smoothly by offering at least the prize money that we've seen these athletes being offered. As we await for the 2 kilometers women loop race that will begin in a bit. No Pamela Rotich today. She's been the star performer over the last few legs, but we'll be going through the list later on. Remember, after the 2 kilometer loop women race, we'll have the women's running the 10 kilometer senior women's race before ushering in the 2 kilometer loop race for men, and then the 10 kilometer senior men's race. I was talking about Naomi Corrie, not Pamela Corrie. She's won 4 of the 5 cross-country series in the loop race, and it would have been very interesting to see her compete here today, Bernard, and it's a whole new field of athletes who will be competing here in this 2 kilometer loop women race.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think she was really prepared for the season, and of course I think we are coming back from the holidays, and most of the athletes, some of them eaten a lot of chapatis. Of course, they are doing a lot of shaking off a lot of weight that they managed to get during the festive season. But of course, it was good. It was really good for to see Naomi winning four of the series, and that tells you what to expect in the upcoming season, because this is an 800 meters athlete, and of course, as we said earlier, that these events help athletes it's part of build-up ahead of the track events. And you talked about preparations for the national events, but we have next week we are doing the county championships, and then of course after the county championships we'll be heading to the regional levels. That is, I think we have about 14 regions, and of course the athletes they are being rewarded, the top 3 athletes. And of course, as I was saying, after the regional championships, that's now we will be able to have the national championships. That is February 8th at the Kenya Prisons Training College, that is in Ruiru. Then of course, on 23rd February, we shall have the Sirikwa Classic Cross Country. It's a gold tour event. This is the second now event tour in Kenya, and I think it will be the last of the cross country series, so that we can be able to start track events. But of course, the first track events is 13th to 15th at the Bukungu Stadium, of which I'm not sure it will happen at Bukungu Stadium because it's still under construction. Maybe it shall be shifted to Mumias. We are yet to get a report from the federation. Of course, it has been a good race there, and as we await for the athletes to be rewarded, I wanted to mention a few athletes from this region who have conquered the world. A few big names from this region. We have Isabella Unauthorized. That is from this area. That is a 5,000 meters athlete. Jen Omoro from that is a cross country. Of course, the 800 meters world champion. That is Mary Mora. Helen Obiri, the Olympics bronze medalist in marathon. And then we have Nyabuti Chui. He has been competing in half marathon races. Of course, Mulemi, athletes being rewarded here.
That is Ronald Kipkoech, who came in 3rd and claiming 15,000 Kenya shillings. Ronald Kipkoech, of course, ran a very, very tactical race, and it is from Sigowet Camp, born on 24th of October 2007. receiving his check. And then in second place finished Mr. Emmanuel Yagon, 20,000 shillings. He finished in second place. In a time of 24 minutes, 0.08 seconds. And then Emmanuel Lemiso, 23 minutes, 56.4 seconds to win the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race. So Emmanuel is now a double winner in the Athletics Kenya Betika Cross Country Series.
Yeah, of course, Mulemi, I was talking about Isabella Ochichi. She reigned in 5,000 meters, and she has a silver medal from Athens, 5,000 meters, where she bagged a silver medal at the Olympic Games. And of course, that's an event where also Kenya managed to send a valuable team, where the late Janet Wanja was playing. May her soul rest in peace. Of course, she was buried yesterday in a private ceremony. And as I was saying, then we have also Ochichi also won gold at the Melbourne in 2006 in the 5,000 meters race. So she has rich history in terms of the 5,000 meters. Of course, I saw her earlier here, and I was talking to her, and she was saying that she feels good being at home. And then, of course, we have other athletes from this region, like Daniel Mayaka, who competed in 200. Jacqueline Maranga, you remember that name? She used to run in 5,000, a lot in 5,000. We have Tom Nyariki, we have Peter Kianga, Jared Ontita, Fred Omundo, a lot of big names here, and of course the legend himself, Charles Asati. You've seen him walking around here. He's really happy to be associated with our athletics. Yes, and of course, as we prepare for the next event, the 2 kilometers loop race, I have seen John Cherono, that is from the National Police. She'll be competing here. I think maybe, I don't know how she'll perform, but with Naomi and Naomi Gloria's missing here, I don't know what will happen here. We'll have a new champion here.
Hoping to see a new champion, and of course better timings coming into this one, but then I'm looking forward to see what happens in the 2 kilometer loop race. Of course, no Naomi career today, so we'll be having in a new champion. And you spoke about the legend himself, former National Media Managing Editor Elias Makori tells me that he schooled here. He says this was a sports factory. He says that this is the place that produced the likes of Moses Kia. He had like Shem Ochako, Eric Keter, world junior champion Oanda Keronchis, princess like Kennedy Ondie, Kennedy Ochieng, and they were all discovered from this place. And he says the newly appointed Central Bank Deputy Governor Gerald Nyaoma was as basketball star at Mosocho alongside Ronnie Owino, Peter Achar, Jojo Medo, Bob Omole, and many, many more. He also tells me in hockey, we had stars like Peter Kiruma, Paul Omany, Paul Ouma, Cliff Odendo, Tom Olal. I remember Tom Olal. Patrick Bosch, Tony Gatara, and all of them played for the national hockey team. He says that a former Harambee Stars player, he was a winger called Paul Onyera of Kenya Breweries, led Cardinal Otunga football team alongside Henry Motego, a very legendary name. I remember him scoring against Algeria in 1997, who was also a pole vaulter, but he defected to Iterio High School, which we just mentioned earlier on. Mosocho was the place to be. And of course, looking at the surrounding, it's like people love athletics, people love sports in this area. And Elias tells me this is where he wrote his first magazine in his journey as a journalist.
I think Elias is a walking encyclopedia about sports in general. And of course, you talked about Eric Keter. I think I remember visiting him at his home. I think he at one time he held a record, a national record. So as I told you earlier, most of the sports people were built here. They came from this place, and of course, maybe Elias himself did not manage to continue maybe playing and maybe competing and running. He went to the other side of telling out the stories of these athletes and sportsmen and women across the country. So it's really good because he's a motivation himself to some of us as journalists, and we are looking forward to be like him. When I grow up, I want to be like Elias.
In 8 minutes' time, we'll be ushering in the next race. That is the 2-kilometer loop women's race, and quite a number of athletes lined up. 26 in total. Of course, 74 were to come to this one, but then only 26 collected their bibs. And on your screens, those are the 26 getting ready to rumble. One lap of this one, and I know it will be fast and furious as always, because there are no second chances in this loop race. It's one lap, 2 kilometers. It's either you're in or out. Naomi Korir, 4-time winner of this series, not here today, so we expect a new winner because her last race was in Olkalau on 14th of December. Sarah Kwamboka Omari, Nyakora Josephine, Vivian Mumbure, Lucy Kemunto, Leonida Barongo Mosiori, Masi Mokeira, Maureen Chepkirui, Mevin Kerubo, Mildred Mijide, Veronica Nyakara, Faith Kemunto, Alice Mora from Nairobi, Onyango Zaina, Joyce Biwot, Ronin Chelangat, Edith Chepkumoi, Milka Kemunto, Evelyn Kiberi, Faith Chebet, Janet Jelimo, Eunice Jerupet, Purity Chepkirui, Joan Cherono of Police, Fanny Nyaboke Jairus, and Sharon Nyaboke of Nyanza South. If you can also get the results from the previous race, the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race, just to remind you who won. The 8 kilometer, which was won by Emmanuel Someki Lemiso, followed by Yegon Emmanuel. Still revisiting Emmanuel Someki Lemiso's interview. It was really, really interesting. And there he won it in a time of 23 minutes, 56 seconds ahead of Emmanuel Yegon, who came in second, 24 minutes. And then Ronald Kipkoech, 24 minutes, 11 seconds. Brian Chasang, 24 minutes, 13 seconds. And Brian Kipto, 24 minutes, 17 seconds in that order. Remember, Emmanuel Lemiso walked home with 30,000 shillings. Emmanuel Yegon, 20,000 shillings. Ronald Kipkoech, 15,000 shillings, and Brian Chesang, to the 10th finisher, walked home with 10,000 shillings. Now it's time for the 2-kilometer loop race for the women. 26 participants, 1 winner, 3 podium finishers. Eagerly waiting for the start. In about 10 minutes, we'll know who takes over from Naomi Korir.
Of course, wait for the race. We talked about the road to Tokyo. We have events lined up for this season. That was finish the cross country season. We are going to start the track event, which, as earlier said, we'll start from Kakamega. That is Bukungu Stadium in February, and then of course 27th to 1st February to 1st March, that is in Ruringu Stadium, that is near. And then the third meet, track and field, will be heading to Langata. That is 13 to 15th March, Ulinzi in Nairobi. then the fourth event will be at Kipkeino Stadium in Eldoret, of course, which is still under construction. And then we have the fifth AK track and field event will be held at the Friar Stadium. That is on April 24 to 26 April. And then at the same time we'll be having a meeting. In this event we'll be having a meeting of relay series that is in preparation for relay championships, which shall be held in Guangzhou, China. It's a World Athletics event that is, it will be happening on 10th to 11th May this year. Then the sixth track and field event shall be held in Kisumu Stadium, that is on 15th to 17th May. And then that will be, it will open way for the county and regional championships, and of course the defense forces championships that will end up in the nationals on June 26 to 28 in Nairobi. That is of course national championships come trials that shall be held in Nairobi. Of course the venue is yet to will be communicated, and then we shall also have trials. Now that will be, I think it will be invitational on 24 to 26 July. That is the Road to Tokyo now, of course, a team that will be selected that will represent Kenya at the World Championships in Tokyo. That shall be held on 13 to 21st of September in Tokyo, Japan. And of course, other athletes also will be also lining up for the World Mountain and Trail Running Championships. That is 5th to 28th September. That will be in San Frank in Spain. And then, of course, World Athletics Road Running Championship San Diego. I think the 2-kilometer loop is almost starting.
They say time is time. It's now time for the 2 kilometers loop race for women. The only thing you expect tonight, you expect this morning, you expect this afternoon, depending on your time zone, is that there'll be a new champion and not Naomi Korir. They say the winners, of course, will be competing at the Sirikwa Classic next month on the 23rd. So it's one lap of the 2-kilometer loop race for women. You blink, you're done. So it depends on how you start, how you take the first bend, how you take the first turn on to the downside. And it is a sprint. A real one, because there are no second chances in this one. And if you're joining us, this is the 2-kilometer loop race for women. A race that most 800 meters runners once shapes them up for the season. You'll be given a roster for the coming up just after this one. Big up to those listening wherever they are, whether you are in New Zealand, Africa, the America, or in Europe. This is the place to be. The beautiful images there, just showing clearly even those who came to watch having a bad eye view, just like the drone. Battery of journalists also taking moments here. We talked about Angwenyi Gishana. He's also in the house. I've never seen him with the camera before. Today he really is carrying a really big one. Remember, after the 2-kilometer loop race, we'll have the 10-kilometer senior race for women before ushering in the 2-kilometer loop men race, and then the 10-kilometer senior men's race. The race now taking shape. Remember, it's only one lap of this one. So tactics really matter in this one, and I know Bernard, having watched the last 5 legs of this series, it's the last 800 meters that really matter.
Yeah, of course. If you follow these races, most of the 800-meter athletes or 400 laps to compete here because it gives them strength. It's a build-up ahead of their events at the track and field events. So as you can see, of course, the race is taking shape. I don't know who will emerge the winner. I don't know who is leading now. I think it's an athlete from Lemotit who is currently leading. We are yet to get her name, Lemotit athlete. That is, we'll be able to get her name shortly. And of course, you can see the beautiful scenery of Kisii. I expected to see a lot of bananas here, like what we normally see in Uganda, in Kampala.
You'll come across various cash crops and of course subsistence crops, but of course Kisii being an agribusiness center provides everything that you need. And of course we're talking about traditional music that fills the air as the athletes take the downhill side of this track. Less than a kilometer to go, and Lemotit camp has been dominating these races. That is the wider Mosocho area from a bird's eye view. Remember, after this we'll be having the 10-kilometer senior women's race right here in Mosocho. Waiting to get grasp of the leading pack. As you see the battle in this one taking shape. Traditional dancers, of course, filling in the air with beautiful music, but then it is all about the 2-kilometer loop race, the women's edition. You have the lights of Lucy Kemunto, Leonida Barongo, Onyango Zaina, Janet Jelimo. Waiting to see who is in the leading pack. He's trying to create a grasp of the bib number. Faith Chebet. It's Ronis Chelangat. She's just taken the field by storm. She's tearing away from the rest. Nobody seems to be catching this athlete from the North Rift as she heads towards the finishing line. She will be happy with how she started this race. She'll be happy with how she's taken this one. And now the new winner of the 6th leg of this one is Ronis Chelangat. Joyce Biwott claims second, with Evelyn Bikeri third. as we await to hear what they have to say. Of course, the race was won by Ronis Chelangat. Ran a brilliant race to win this one. Joanne Cherono couldn't match the pace and power of Ronis Chelangat and Joyce B. Watt, who claimed first and second places respectively. Remember, the 2-kilometer loop race is 1 full round of this one. I'll be handing you over to Bernard Rotich on the other side to speak to Ronis, Joyce, in that order. Over to you, Bernard.
Thank you so much, Mulemi. I want to interview the podium positions, and of course, we are going to talk to Ronis and then hear what she says.
Kimbia 2K.
Zile zingine ambao ulikimbia labda uliperform namna gani?
Yote yenye nimekimbia nilikuwa 5 yote. So nashukuru Mungu leo.
Unajua uko karibu kwetu. Kwani wapi?
Because labda season imeanza, una prepare labda for which races?
Saizi na prepare cross country ya Discovery na track.
Because kutakuwa pia na Lobo, sijui ile World Cross Country, World Athletics Gold Tour event, Sirikwa class.
Kama nitainvitiwa nitaenda kukimbia. So itadetermine results yenye nitaenda kukimbia Discovery.
Na labda watu wanajiuliza labda Joyce anafanya mazoezi wapi, kocha wake ni nani?
Kocha wangu ni Andrew Lebo na train na Naomi Koril, Eldoret Kimumu.
Asante sana. We have number 3 here, of course, songa kidogo. A very young lady ambaye make podium position, labda tutasikia jina lake ni nani, anafanya mazoezi wapi?
Kwanza kabisa mimi naitwa Mosocho-Kisii kutoka kambi ya Lesap Training Camp under coach Mr. Rona.
So, mbio ya leo imekuwa namna gani kwako na unajihisi namna gani kuwa nambari la 3?
Mbio haikuwa mbaya sana, lakini niling'ang'ana na nikawa namba 3.
Labda mbio si mwaka umeanza. Umepangia nini mwaka huu? Unataka kukimbia wapi na unataka labda kuperform aje?
Nilikuwa nikianza juzi tu kukimbia. Nataka niende nikimbie huko ng'ambo kama Beatrice Chebet.
Umesema unaitwa nani?
Mimi naitwa Mosocho-Kisii.
Mosocho-Kisii, wewe ndio ulikimbia pale Uganda ile steeplechase?
Ndio. Mimi napangia mazuri.
Asante sana. That is Mosocho-Kisii, of course, coming in third. Of course, she's a specialist in 3,000 steeplechase. And of course, maybe Mulemi, these athletes are using the races as part of buildup. And of course, you've seen the young girl. She's preparing for the upcoming season and of course, secondary schools competition ahead of other events that she's looking forward to. And of course, of course, as part of Road to Tokyo, we have also the Youth Olympics, which is happening in Africa for the first time. That is in Senegal next year. So I think this is a good start for the young girl. Mulemi?
Tayari kabisa kuanza mbio ya 10,000 kilometers. 10,000 kilometers senior.
Two, 1, 2. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, check. Welcome back, and we're now ready for the 10-kilometer senior women's race. And here we expect athletes, more seasonal athletes of course, competing in this one and trying to outsmart each other. For the podium finishers, off we go at exactly 11 a.m. The 10-kilometer senior women's race, a race that promises a lot, not just in terms of who finishes on the podium, but also looking at the way they are shaping up for the season.
And of course, Mulemi, here we have the Africa 10,000 meters champion. That is Janet Chemgetich, who is competing. She trains in Keringet in Nakuru County. And of course, we have other athletes like Violet Ongosi from Sakwa Sports Club. We have Ruth Bosibor, of course, Ruth told me that she cancelled. We have Gladys Kwamboka, Lydia Nyangosa from Gong, Lea Mokaya, and Jane Gatti from Nyanza South. These are the athletes we are going to look forward to see how they are going to compete. And I'm told by my listeners or viewers that the last interview that we were doing hanged. We are sorry for the technical hitch. They could not listen what the athletes were saying. But I think the athletes basically said that they were preparing for the season that is starting. We have a lot of events coming up, and they are really preparing for these races so that they can be able to compete in various areas, like the county editions. We have the regional edition, and then we have the national championships. We have the Sirikwa Classic, and then we have the track and field, which is almost starting. So it's a packed season for the athletes.
A packed season for the athletes. 26 names in this one compared to the 74 that were in all Kalau. And it's something that tells you that The consistency has been there, just like what we had, previously. The athletes that came here want to ensure that at least they earn a slot in the Sirikwa Classic that will be coming up later on next month. Remember, there was also the county editions and the regional editions that will be coming up as we also kickstart the track season later on this term. Jane Gati, Damaklin Nyaboke, G. Eve Jemutai, Ruth Bosibori, the likes of Janet Chepngetich, who's competing in this one, on your screens right now as they scan through the course, of course. Beautiful, beautiful track. They are here in Mosocho at the Cardinal Otunga School.
Of course, yesterday I was talking to Janet Chepngetich, that's the Africa cross-country champion, and she was telling me that she's coming back slowly after a break. And given that the season, we said earlier, it's a long season for the athletes, because remember, World Championship, the road to Tokyo, World Championships will be happening in September, and we have a lot of time for these athletes. And of course, Diamond League kicks off in May. So it's the athletes are they still have time to start training slowly, gradually, so that by the time they reach maybe the trials time, they'll be at their peak at world event. And of course, we were talking earlier about Beatrice Jebet. Did an article about she's a serial world breaker, because last year, that is 2023, she finished the year with a record, the 5-kilometer record. And then last year now, that is 2024, she closed also the year with another record. And in between, she had broken the 10,000 meters record, becoming the first woman to run sub-29. That is 28, I think 56. Now, this is the athlete, maybe this season, she's looking forward to lower her 10,000 meters record, and also trying to break the 5,000 meters record that is being held by Gudaf Segei from Ethiopia. What do you think about this season with breaking records in terms of Beatrice Jebet?
First of all, there was no better way of ending the season, just the way she did, ending her 2024 with a record in 5 kilometers, winning 2 gold medals in Paris, and of course breaking the 10K record during the national trials in Oregon. That shows you that this is an athlete. If you look at how she grew up and what she did when she was young, I can remember her winning gold at the Africa Junior Championship, which was an eye-opener to her after having several attempts that were not really successful in that. Beatrice Jebet, I think this is the year whereby she will actually stamp her authority over the middle distance and long distance races, because she's shown she's capable of doing well in the 5K, the 10K, and that is the World Athletics Vice President, also the President of Athletics Kenya, retired Major General Jackson Tuwei, and of course Mr. Mutui, his vice, and a couple of Mr. Angwenyi there, the treasurer of Athletics Kenya, all enjoying this everything happening here at Cardinal Otunga School. That's the leading pack in the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Nothing so much to separate these athletes. You've talked about Janet Chepngetich, the African champion, and currently leading is Lydia Nyangosa Nyisinkera of Ngong. She seems to be home away from home.
Yeah, of course, home away from home. And of course, training in Ngong, she must have seen a better place to train in. And of course, if you see what they are doing here, it's I can say everybody who doesn't want to go forward. So Nyangosa is doing some donkey work here, and they are really following her up. Of course, hanging right behind there is Janet Chepngetich. I don't know how she'll be able to run today because she said this was her first cross country this season. But her target is, of course, compete at the Siriko Classic. That is the world event next month on 23rd. And of course, I think she will also compete at the nationals, having given that she started competing here in the 6th leg of Athletic Kenya Betika cross country.
Lydia Nyangosa. Also watch out for Prisons. Wangari Ndegwa, she's also in the mix. And right now, it's slowly shaping up. 9 athletes still in that leading pack. Zaina Onyango of Nyanza South. She's also representing this region that has produced great names, including the likes of Mary Mora, Sarah Mora, Yobe Shondieki, Thomas Nyariki, Paul Onyera, and of course many great names to come from this part of Kisii County. That is Mr. Peter Angwenyi, who is speaking to those on this course.
Bwana Principal, I welcome you. Take the microphone. Thank you very much. Our President, all officials of AK present here, I want to take this time to welcome you, all of you, to Cardinal Otunga High School Mosocho for this great event. It's a privilege to host you and want to make a number of requests. Mr. President, that we make this an annual event. Thank you very much and welcome. Mr. President, because we said very few speeches, I'm humbled to announce that the principals has allowed us that the regional championships for Nyanza South will be hosted here once more. That is in 2 weeks or 3 weeks time to come. Allow me, sir, to call upon your senior vice president, because you remember we have made this not to be having speeches in this series, to welcome you to make your remarks, Mr. President. Mr. Senior Vice President Paul Mutisia Mutui, welcome.
Asante sana Bwana Peter Angwenyi, chairman wa AK Nyanza South. Mr. President sir, pamoja na executive wa Athletics Kenya ambao wako hapa, Mr. Principal wa shule hii na chairman wa marketing committee ya Athletics Kenya na wale wengine ambao mko hapa, hamjambo. Nafikiri sababu tumeambiwa ni dakika 1-2, ningependa niseme furaha mingi sana kama competitions director Athletics Kenya kuona vile mambo yako hapa. I want to congratulate or to accept an appreciation from the principal na chairman kwa kufanya kazi mzuri kwa allow Athletics Kenya iendelee kama vile ilivyo. Otherwise, I want to also appreciate and say this area here before even zile tunaziita mother ama cohort of the champions, naambia nyinyi ni kama ilianzia huku. Akina Nyandika Mayoro, nyakati hizo za Nyandika Mayoro hatukuwa tukijua wana Kenya wengine, na ikakuja kama vile mtu mwingine alisema na akina Asati, sasa tuko na hii msichana sasa Mora na Obiri. Kwa hivyo ningependa the leaders of this area muangalie hiyo na muende back to the starting point na muguze athletics ndiye Sasa hiyo majina yaanze kusikika tena. Otherwise sio siku yangu. Ningependa at this juncture nimuulize the President Athletics Kenya ya akuje atuambie more. Please sir, welcome.
Thank you very much, Senior Vice President, Athletics Kenya, Paul Mutui. Let me first of all recognize our senior principal here, kwa sababu tangu juzi tukiongea yeye ametukaribisha, and your whole team, not just you alone, because we have seen a very wonderful team in this school here, ambaye inaonyesha kwamba mnafanya kazi mzuri, so tunashukuru kwa hapa. All the officials who are here from Athletics Kenya, Nyanza South, and all the other visiting officials from every part of this country, na wananchi wote ambao wamekuja hapa, tunafurahi sana kurudi tena hapa Cardinal Otunga Secondary School to come and finish our calendar of events in terms of cross country. Sisi tulikuwa na cross country 6, na tulianza Machakos, tukaenda Kapsakwony huko Mount Elgon, tukaenda Iten huko Elgeyo Marakwet, tukaenda Bomet huko upande wa South Rift, tukaenda Olkalau huko Nyandarua, na sasa tunakuja kumalizia hapa. So you can see it is not just one particular area. We visit every country so that we give everybody a chance to show their talents, to show their events, to show their organization and all that. But I can assure you, Bwana Mwalimu, this is one of the best organization. And Bwana Angwenyi, thank you so much for welcoming us here as the chairman of Nyanza South. I think we have enjoyed everything that we have seen. And so we don't want to talk much today because the event is going on, but we still have a few other cross-country series coming. We still have another 3, apart from the regional, county championships and so forth. We have got another 3 that will be happening in Eldoret. On 26th of this month, we have the Discovery. The Discovery, which is the oldest cross-country in this country. Imeanza, this is going to be the 34th series since it started, and it has never stopped except in 2020 when we had the COVID. Otherwise it has been continuous throughout, na inakuwa sponsored na wazungu ya kutoka huko nje huko. So mnaona tuko na marafiki wengi, sio hapa nyumbani peke yake, hata huko ng'ambo tuko na marafiki, na Kenya inaheshimiwa. Kenya kwa athletics inaheshimiwa, and therefore tutakuwa huko. Karibuni nyinyi watu ya pande hii, karibuni kwa hiyo pia, alafu tufanye kazi pamoja. Now, point ya pili, nataka kueleza all the officials, coaches, everybody who is concerned with athletics in this particular area and in Kenya in general, that we have got a few things that we need to put right. The first one is that we have got 2 types of registration, and I think it is important for people to understand and to be very clear about registration. The first registration we have is about the athletes who will be running in every event. The rule requires that everybody who is going to run must register a day or 2 days before the event, not during the day of the event. So let us get it right. Let us get it right. Nobody, no athlete will be allowed to run if he or she has not registered a day or 2 days before. You will not be allowed to run when you have not registered. So let's get it right, because I know there are a few teams and individuals who have been disqualified because they did not register. Now we are in 2025, and it is important to make it very clear that no athlete will run if they have not registered as required, a day or 2 days before. And we have got our teams on the ground to receive you and to register you. And you must come with your own documents to come and prove that you are the one. That is the first registration. The second registration is the one we started because of the anti-doping enhanced program. Ambaye tuko na team ambaye tunaregister athletes, tunaregister coaches, tunaregister officials, and eventually tunaregister camps, because we want to have all the documents and all the details of every camp and everybody that we have in athletics, so that we can all be working together and we all understand who is doing what. What does that mean? We started quite some months back. We even opened an office in Eldoret to take care of this. And I know we have not covered the whole country. There are a few areas that we are remaining with so that we can complete this event. Now, from 1st of January this year, which is 4 days ago, from 1st of January this year, no athlete will be allowed to run unless you appear in that registration. No athlete will be allowed to run. So please, those of you who have not registered, can you make some effort, as much as we are also making effort to come and register you, make effort to come and register, whether it's in Eldoret or Nairobi or wherever you could be, so that you don't miss to compete in our championships, in our calendar events, and of course to qualify for any event outside this country. Our main event this year is going to be the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan in September. And qualifications are started. So all the coaches who are here, please, officials, make sure that we allow these athletes to qualify according to the rules and regulations. First of all, let us understand the rules and regulations. What is, when you talk about qualification, what does it mean? Because the dates have been given, the standards have been given, and all the details have been given. So let us allow athletes to qualify, so that when we come for the national championships and trials for the world championships later on in the year, then it's only those who will have qualified who will come and run, and then we select a team to go and represent Kenya in the world championships during the world championships in Tokyo in Japan. So let's get it very clear. If you have any doubt, those of you who are dealing with it, if you have any doubt, please come to us and we'll give you any clarifications, because we don't want anybody to miss. We are also, of course, the other side of ADAC, they are doing their bit to make sure that all the athletes who will come for the trials will have been tested properly according to the rules and regulations of Athletics Integrity Unit. And therefore, let us understand all this, and let us be very clear, so that we don't have anybody missing the championships. They are missing to come for trials, because it's important. So please, let us understand all those things. My final comment today is about the young talents, or the young athletes, the young runners below 20. Yesterday, when we were going through the documentation here and so forth and so on, we still identified a few who do not have the correct documentation. And it is impossible for you to run if you are going to have different documents in terms of who you are, what you are, and so forth and so on. And this is called age cheating. Now, those of you who want to continue with this kind of thing, I can assure you, now we have got a team. We have got a team from Athletics Kenya and the government agencies to work together and see that we correct this immediately. And anybody who is involved in that age cheating is cheating himself or herself, because we will deal with you. That is for sure. We will deal with you. And therefore, let us stop this age cheating. from the regions, from the counties, from the coaches, from the camps, from anybody who is dealing with an athlete. Let us stop this business completely. Finally, we are still struggling with this issue called doping. And I think we cannot finish our discussion unless we continue saying, let us stop doping and run clean and win fairly. Run clean and win fairly. So let us all say, stop doping. Stop doping. Thank you. And I hope everybody is listening wherever they are. We don't want to start a year like this with problems and a few issues here and there. Let us have our athletes run clean so that they can maintain a good name for themselves and for this great country. Otherwise, with those few remarks, nataka kusema asanteni sana wana mwalimu, all the officials ambao mmefanya kazi mzuri. Wale ambao wamefanya hii kazi, officials and everybody else, you can see for yourselves. Just as an example, according to the program which has been produced, the events are starting right on the dot. And it is not easy to do that, so congratulations. All the officials, technical officials and everybody else. And then now the final point that I would like to say is that the national cross country is coming up next month. According to our calendar of events, you all have the dates and everything else. The only thing we would like to announce is the change of venue. The change of venue. Initially, we had allocated that event to be done at Prison Staff Training College in Ruiru, but now it has been changed to Eldoret Sports Club. The same date, no change of the date. The only change is the venue. We are going to issue instructions to all the regions, those who will be bringing their teams to Eldoret, and then we clarify any other matter that requires to be clarified. And therefore, I want to wish you all the very best of luck. Nyinyi watu ya hapa, tumeshukuru sana, tumekula ndizi, na hata ingine nasikia tunabeba, so hii ni mzuri. Nasema asante sana, kwa sababu kumbe nyinyi mko na chakula mingi hapa, na ndio tunaona watu wako na afya mzuri, lakini hiyo afya tuweke kwa mchezo pia. Tuone vijana, nimeona wasichana wazuri ambao wanakimbia hapa, vijana wazuri, tunataka hao tunacha, alafu tuende mbele iwe kama zamani. Ndio sababu tumeleta hii hata mchezo hapa. Zamani ile program ilikuwa inafanywa ya cross country, ya mwisho ilikuwa ni hapa. And that is why we have come to say what happened. So tupatie hao vijana nafasi waonyeshe ujuzi yao, alafu waende wakimbie dunia, wapige mchezo mzuri huko. All the very best, happy new year, and we wish you all the very best, and may God bless you. Thank you so much.
Basi makofi kwa president na wageni wote ambao wamefika hapa, makofi yo. Basi.
That was the president of Athletics Kenya, retired General Jackson Tuwei, giving us insights towards what to expect and how athletes need to conduct themselves during this season as we witness the near end of the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Diana Chepkorir running away from Janet Japngetich, and Janet Charity, some big news coming from the president's speech.
Yeah, so he said that the National Cross Country Championship, the venue has been changed from the Ruiru Prisons College to Eldoret Sports Club. We're hoping to go there on 8th February. Everything still remains constant. We're going to meet the fans once more. I hope the turnout will be as big as the one that was there during the Rio Olympics. We are seeing that the number one is approaching the finish line. Over to you, Mlemi.
Diana Chepkorir of KDF, born on 2nd of June 2002. She's coming in very nicely. She was on a neck-to-neck race with Janet Jepngetich of Nakuru, the African champion over the 10,000 meters. But now it is all about Diana Jepkorir. We'll be waiting to see the timings from her brilliant 10K race. And of course, on your screens also are athletes being rewarded after the 2-kilometer loop race. Sorry, and that is Diana Chepkorir on her way to winning the 10-kilometer loop race. Mercy Cherono receiving 5,000 shillings in the after finishing. That is the 6-kilometer under 20 women. They're receiving. Then that is Joyce Biwott, 7,000 Kenya shillings. Joyce Biwott and Ronis Chelangat, the winner of the 2-kilometer loop race. And that is Ruth Diana Chepkorir on the home stretch. She's had a brilliant race. Diana, as she rounds off that one, heading to the last 800 meters of this one. She knows that she has what it takes to win this race. Checking over her shoulder to look at where Janet Chepngetich is. And she can confidently say that unless something happens, she will be the new champion. Diana Chepkorir of KDF. She looks to be in great shape as she goes on. There you go, Diana Chepkorir. Janet Chepngetich, who was running her first race of the season, was in second place. We're waiting to locate her to see if she's still in second or she might have dropped farther back. But that is Diana Chepkorir. She's is that the winner of the 2-kilometer race, Ronis Jelagat, has been disqualified for competing in the wrong category. So Joyce Biwott has been elevated to number 1, with Mercy Chemgeno in number 2, and Fanis Nyaboke will now take number 3 in the 2 kilometers loop women's race. But that is Diana Chepkorir heading home in a very confident way. She'll be going to win the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Into the last few laps of this one, on this course that has produced some spectacular races throughout the day. Diana Chepkorir won the first edition in Machakos, and she's on course to winning this last edition of the Athletics Kenya-Betika Cross Country Weekend Series here in Mosocho at the Cardinal Otunga High School. That is Diana Chepkorir. She's just dominated each and every athlete on the course. And remember, after the 10-kilometer senior women's race, we'll have the 2-kilometer loop race for men before ushering in the last event of the day, the 10-kilometer senior women's race. But that's Diana Chepkorir still leading the 10-kilometer senior women's race. The 2-kilometer loop race for men has attracted 45 athletes. Watch out for the likes of Vincent Keter, Hesbon Monsomi, Franklin Momanyi. But that is Diana Chepkorir, who won the first Athletics Kenya Betika cross country we can meet in Machakos, and she's on course to winning the last edition of this, and she's coming home. Diana Chepkorir, just as she did in Machakos, she's done it in Mosocho, she's done it at the Cardinal Otunga High School. She's going to win the 10-kilometer senior women's race. She's had a brilliant race just from the beginning. She showed signs of dominating this one. Janet Chepngetich tried so hard to come and close by, but then Diana Chepkorir decided this is my race, and winning her second race of this series.
Yeah, that was a beautiful race for Diana. Of course, having won in Machakos once again, she's won here in Mosocho. And of course, the second athlete coming here nicely, that is Janet Chepngetich from Keringet in Nakuru. She is coming home nicely, and she has finished second. And of course, this is part of preparations ahead of various cross-country events. And of course, you are going to hear from these athletes. And as you've had, the National Cross Country Championships, Mulemi, will now be held in Eldoret at the Sports Club, which is one of the areas that has been hosting Discovery Cross Country for the last 34 years. And of course, now that means we are going to have the National Championships held at the Sports Club. Mulemi, I think we expect a large crowd. Of course, people love athletics in that region, and of course, we are going to see how the race will unfold. Of course, that is Jane Gatti finishing the race. Mulemi, I was saying that at the Nationals, which has been now shifted to Eldoret at the Sports Club, expect a large crowd there because people love athletics there.
Yeah, for the first time in 3 years, we'll be going back to Eldoret for the National Cross Country Championships. That will be held on the 8th of February. And the venue is now the Eldoret Sports Club. Over the last 3 editions, we've been going to the Ruiru Prison Staff Training College, but now it's time for the Eldoret people to enjoy the finest in cross country as they converge next month on the 8th of February. But I'm also being informed that Ronis, who won the 2-kilometer loop race, has been disqualified from filling in entries for 2 categories. She ran in the 6-kilometer under 20 women's race, and then the loop race. But the results from the 6-kilometer under 20 women's race have been nullified, but she retains her win in the 2-kilometer loop race for women. So that is the latest coming out of this race. And Diana Chepkorir, of course, won the 10-kilometer senior women's race ahead of Janet Chepngetich of Keringet in Nakuru. We'll be awaiting to hear what they have to say, especially Janet Chepngetich, who has just run her first race of 2025. We also await for athletes to confirm what their plans are for this year. Diana Chepkorir will be speaking to us shortly. Of course, 2 more races to go. The 2 kilometer loop race for men, and then the 10-kilometer senior men's race. Charity, if you're ready with Diana, you can take it away.
Rotich, I'm joined here by Diana Chepkorir. She's finished number 1 in the 10-kilometer senior race. Race imekuwa vipi kwako?
Imekuwa mzuri. Kwanza kabisa nataka nimshukuru Mungu aliniwezesha nikakuwa number 1.
Na umekuwa ukijitayarisha vipi? Kulikuwa na msimu wa sikukuu, sherehe hapa na pale. Ulikuwa unapata wapi time ya mazoezi?
Nilijaribu tu siku ya holiday, nilikuwa na train kidogo, lakini nashukuru Mungu amenipea nguvu nikamaliza. Sikuwa natarajia lakini nashukuru Mungu.
After this
ni kwenda counties na nationals.
All the best and congratulations. I'm also joined here by number 2, who is Janet Chepngetich. Janet, congratulations. Race imekuwa vipi kwako? Ninaona mmekuwa mkikimbizana sana wewe na Diana. Wakati mmoja karibu mpite kidogo mkaendelezana tena. Mlikuwa mkisemezana nini?
Tulikuwa tu tunasaidiana. Lakini kwangu nilikuwa off season. Alafu nikakucha loading kidogo. And then niliona macross karibu inaisha. Nikasema acha niende ni test moja. Na ninashukuru Mungu sana sababu nilikuwa loading. Nashukuru Mungu sana kwa hii position. Sikutarajia nitakuwa position 2. Nashukuru Mungu sana. Yeah.
Pengine ukirudi kwa mazoezi ni nini utakuwa na focus nao sana na vile tuko karibu sasa tushamaliza series ya cross country tunaelekea nationals. Alafu utaingia road races ama unaenda track and field?
Kitu yenye natarajia saa hii ni track and field. Even loading yenye nafanya for track and field. Maybe road race itakuwa huko mwisho lakini najitayarishia track and field. Yes.
All the best and congratulations. Also number 3 is Gladys Kwamboka. Gladys Kwamboka ni mwenyeji wa hapa. Gladys, tafadhali njoo hapa. Gladys, congratulations, umemaliza kwa podium nyumbani. Race imekuwa vipi kwako?
Nimeshukuru sana kwa kumaliza nambari ya 3. Race haijakuwa rahisi lakini kulingana na mimi naona si mbaya kwa kuprepare. Yes.
So saa hii season yako unapangia nini?
Season yangu napangia cross country and track. Yes.
Na track and field?
Yes, hiyo ndo napangia na cross country. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Those are the winners for the 10 kilometers women. We had Diana Chepkorir, Janet Chepngetich, and Gladys Kwamboka taking position 1, 2, and 3. Earlier on, we had the speeches from the Athletics Kenya Vice President, the President also, and who is also the World Athletics Vice President, President Lieutenant General retired Tuwei, talking about emphasizing on the need of the athletes registering in the correct age categories. We've had some athletes who have been disqualified. So, for example, some of the ladies who registered in the 6 kilometers but went on to compete in that race, yet they were not supposed to be competing in the age. He has emphasized that athletes must also collect their BIP early and also register for the doping program. Over to you, Mulemi and Rotich, as we start with the men's race.
We'll be starting in a few minutes time. Of course, we'll be waiting to see what some of these athletes have to offer, because it's always very, very, very competitive. Bearing the fact that most of these athletes who compete in these ones are middle distance runners. I've seen the likes of Vincent Keter in this one. He was in Bomet, was not in All Kalau, but is here and today is the day we see if actually he is in the right shape to actually carry the day here. Remember in Bomet, Reynold Kipkorir won that race. In All Kalau, we had a couple of fierce contests in that race, and the race was won by Regan Kipkorir Kibet. So today is a time when we want to see if actually everything that happened during the festive season is going to be different, or see, maintain the status quo. So the 2 kilometer loop race, it's always very fast. I remember in E10, Emmanuel Wanyonyi winning that one in spectacular fashion. But today we have the likes of David Makori, Hesbon Nyakariega, Charles Nyangaka, Wycliffe Momanyi, the homeboy, Emmanuel Kiprono Kiyamba Leparan, Vincent Makori Mogaka, Vincent Kipngetich. Just a few names that are here for this one. 46 entries. I can see the likes of Megwara Athletic Camp, Lesap Training Camp, South Rift. Imagine Academy of South Sudan have an athlete in the name of Peter Lotino Akileo. Mashambani Kopia.com Club, Erastus Maina Menja. But this is the 2 kilometer senior men's race.
Yeah, and of course we are still waiting for the athletes who are running slower. Of course, they are also champions, of course, but we have to wait for them so that they can finish up the last lap, and then the 2 kilometer loop can start. So far so good, and of course it has been a spectacular. We've seen spectacular races here happening, and seeing athletes winning these events, and of course finishing this in the first 10 positions means that the athletes are ready. They are ready, and of course, as we said, the next weekend we have a lot of races happening. We have all the counties across the country holding their championships, and then of course the disciplined forces are also competing next weekend, and then we shall have the regional level athletes competing, and then they will all meet at the national level. All the top cream athletes will be meeting at the national level, which has now been taken to Eldoret. It will be happening in Eldoret Sports Club. So, of course, the sports club has been hosting the Discovery for the last 34 years, and we will be able to see athletes also competing in that place on February 8th. Then we shall also have athletes competing at the Sirikwa Classic Cross Country, which shall be held in Eldoret also. That is the Lobo Village. Lobo Village, one of the scenic places here that is being that belongs to one of the legends. That is Ibrahim Hussein, the father of we normally call him the father of marathons. So it's a packed season for the athletes, and of course as we get ready to see these athletes who are going to compete at the 2 kilometer loop, we also have the track and field events, which is also starting in February, and we shall have also 6 series that will be going across the country, and all the athletes who are going to compete here, they will be preparing, or it's a Road to Tokyo. That is a Road to Tokyo World Championships that will be held in September. Of course, we also have the World Relay Championships in May in Guangzhou, China. We have the World Road Running in September. That is in USA. I think San Francisco in USA. And then, of course, we have also of course, this year we don't have the junior events, but we are going to see athletes competing in other races, and we expect. I think we'll also have the Africa Championships. Cross-country championships this year. So it's a fully packed season, as I said. And next year, of course, we shall be having also the Olympics, the Youth Olympic Games happening in Africa for the first time. That is, it will be happening in Dakar, Senegal. And then we shall also be seeing athletes battling out to get positions to go and compete here. And as I say, Mamulemi, when you come and compete here, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to make Team Kenya. There are scouts here who are waiting to see how you're running. We have the Kenya Defense Forces, we have the National Police, we have Kenya Prisons, Kenya Wildlife, Kenya Forest, NYS. All those people are looking for talent so that they can be able to give them a chance and give them contracts. We have various managements, the global, we have Rosa Society, we have the ASICS management. We have a lot of managers who are also seeking athletes, because as the other athletes get older and exit, they need new talent in their house. They have to put their house in order. So these athletes, they don't have necessarily to make it to the team, but they get a chance to be able to join all, including the schools. Schools also are now seeking, the United States universities are looking for these athletes, especially from Kenya. Last year alone, we had more than 100 who joined a scholarship program through Town Hall. And of course, you have other organizations that are taking these athletes. So apart from the 100 from the Town Hall, we have many other athletes who managed to get a scholarship, and they went to the universities in the USA. And these athletes, Malemi, I can tell you, they will be able to, if they train well and they use the facilities in the US very well, they'll be able to compete well and make the team to the Olympic Games in 2028 in Los Angeles. So this is what we are looking forward to, a plan for the next 3 years, so that we can be able to have a strong team that will represent Kenya in this event.
And of course, we are just a few minutes away from the beginning of the 2-kilometer loop race for men. And one thing I'm really excited about is new camps coming up, and making sure that they have entries in this weekend series. I can see mashambanikopia.com. It's a new entry in this one, and they have at least one athlete. Then Johnson Tenkes, Lesap training camp, and those are the results from the 10-kilometer senior women's race, which was won by Diana Chepkorir in a time of 33 minutes and 5 seconds. Janet Chepngetich came in second, 33 minutes 32 seconds. Gladys Kwamboka came in fourth, 34 minutes 11 seconds. Jen Gatti, the local girl, 34 minutes 23 seconds. And Faith Cherono, 34 minutes 49 seconds. But now it's time for the 2-kilometer men's 2-kilometer loop men's race. 22 athletes from this region, Nyanza South, and 45 athletes in total. So half of the athletes in this field come from this region. So who is going to emerge victorious? But also watch out for the likes of Vincent Kibet Keter, Victor Kipkurui of South Rift, Alfred Chepchirchir. There is Wenceslas Kipkoechto. There you go, the 2-kilometer loop race for men. Who is going to emerge victorious? Watch out for the notable names. Christopher Arogo, Franklin Mochama, the local boy. What will they do in this one? The second last event of the day, it is the 2-kilometer loop men race. And the tall figure of Vincent Keter, currently in fourth, is now in third, because he knows that it's a do or die. He's been using this event, he's been using the series as part of preparations as he gears up for the upcoming track series that season that begins next month. And it begins with the first leg, and it will go up to the 6th leg, just like the cross country, before ushering in the national track and field championships to be held in the middle of the year. We'll be giving the specific dates, but this is the 2-kilometer loop men's race, a race that promises not only fireworks but excitement, just as you can see from the crowd on your screens. In case you're joining us, we are live from Cardinal Otunga High School in Mosocho, Kitutu Chache in Kisii County. An area that has produced so many superstars. An area that has produced very many athletes that have always been on the top when it comes to global matters. So if you're joining us, welcome aboard. This is the 2-kilometer loop men's race. Beautiful images of the Cardinal Otunga school here in Mosocho. On the right of your screen is Mosocho town, and also the crowd that has come here. They've come in handy. They know they wanted entertainment. They got the entertainment. So this is one lap on the course. So expect high speeds here. Just like what happened in Olkalau, what happened in Iten, what happened in Kapsokony, what happened in Bomet, and also what happened in Machakos. Vincent Keter now leading this 2-kilometer loop race. Remember, Vincent Keter is very experienced. A man who's represented the country in different events across the globe and even in Africa. The 2-kilometer loop race for men always has athletes who compete in middle distance races like the 400, the 800, and of course the 1,500 meters. And now in the lead is Vincent Keter, the gold medal winner from the World Under-20 Championships held in Nairobi in the year 2020. Keter was born in 2002 and has shown the resilience, and of course he's always been a name that can be picked whenever the 1,500 meters is being talked about, and there he is still in the lead with a personal best of 3 minutes 34.44 seconds in the 1,500 meters set on 10th of February 2024. He's also posted 3 minutes 31.28. There is Vincent Keter. And there you go, Vincent Keter. He knows he has what it takes and he wins it. The 1,500 meters. Didn't do it in Bomet, didn't do it in Iten, but he's finally won it. The former world junior champion in the 1,500 meters.
Yeah, that was a good win for him, because he has been looking for that podium position, of course, and I think this was the right place to be. And of course, he has been consistent. We are talking here of consistent, because having competed in all those events, getting now ready to the next event, which comes next weekend, discipline forces, and of course the county editions, we are going to see more competitive races. Athletes will be more competitive here, and we are looking forward to good races going forward. They're getting ready, of course, as we wait for Charity to talk to the winners, and I think like Vincent, who has won, is a 1500 meters athlete, and he's using this race, as we said, as part of build-up, preparing for the upcoming season. I've seen him competing in various Diamond League races, sometimes as part of a pacemaker, sometimes finishing the race. And of course, we also have the Kipkeino Classic, which is a World Gold Tour event, which is happening in Nairobi, and it's the only one in Africa. So we are privileged to have these world events happening in our soil in Kenya. And of course, there's another world tour that is a cross-country gold tour event in February, Sirikwa Classic. We just finished last year in December. We had the Chepsaita Great Run, another gold tour. So we are really lucky enough to have these events.
Bringing stars together, bringing the world together, and bringing everyone together, everyone who loves athletics. The Chepsaita was the last global event to be held here in Kenya, and we'll have the Sirikwa Classic coming up later on. Also, we'll have the Kipkeino Classic in May, and the national championships, both for the cross country and track. Vincent Keter, winner of the 2-kilometer loop men's race. He was followed by Justice Kipkoech Biegon and Solomon Kimutai. I'll be handing you over to Bernard to speak to Mr. Vincent Keter, winner of the 2-kilometer loop men's race.
Thank you so much, Mulemi. And of course, we have the 2-kilometer loop winner here. That is Vincent Keter. Vincent, mbio imekuwaje leo?
Mbio ilikuwa mzuri, course ni mzuri sana. Najua inawaka kidogo, lakini ni mzuri kwa time. Nasikia mwili iko sawa. Yeah.
Mbona unakimbia cross country 2 kilometers?
Nakimbia 2 kilometers, mimi nakimbia 1500 kwa kwaja. Sasa tunatumia hii cross country kwa buildup. Yeah.
And of course, umekimbia cross country ngapi na imekuwaje kwako?
Nimekimbia Bomet, nilikuwa nambari 3. Nimekimbia labda kusha hapa. Yeah.
And of course, season inaanza. Labda uko na mpangilio gani mwaka huu? Of course, watu wengi ni road to Tokyo. Sijui wewe uko na mpangilio gani?
After Indo kwanza, mimi nakimbia Indo. Sasa naanza this month. So na prepare hii nikiendelea kupata more tactics ya World Championship. Siwezi kumiss World Championship sai, napata ni mapema. Yeah.
Asante sana and all the best. Okay. That of course is Vincent Keter, who is preparing for World Indoors. As you've heard, you will be competing in the World Indoor events. And of course, we have the second athlete here, and that is Justice Kipkoech Biegon from Sigawet. Justice, labda tuanze na jina lako alafu tuambie mbio imekuwa namna gani?
My name is Justice Kipkoech. Natoka Kiptere Camp. Nilikimbia vizuri. Namshukuru Mungu kwa ameniwezesha nimshinde. Nashukuru tena coach wangu mwenye amenitrain, Coach Kemei. Hadi hapa, asante.
So hii mbio vile umekimbia 2 kilometers, labda unajitayarishia nini kwa sababu watu wengi wanatumia kama buildup?
Najitayarishia ile hiyo ya Tokyo.
Nataka kurepresent Kenya.
Yeah.
Mbio gani?
1500. Yeah.
So all the best and thank you. And of course, we have the third athlete here, and that is Solomon Kimutai from NYS. Yeah, labda anza na jina lako alafu tuambie unafanya mazoezi wapi na mbio leo imekuwa namna gani?
Jina ni Solomon Kimutai kutoka idara ya NYS. Nafanya mazoezi hapa Sutik. Mazoezi yanaendelea vizuri. Natumia cross country kama build up. Tukianza msimu tutakuwa tumejitayarisha vyema. Mimi ni mkimbiaji wa mita 1500. Natumai tukianza msimu mwili wangu, mazoezi yangu itakuwa imefika kileleni. Nashukuru.
Labda weekend ambayo inakuja tuko na counties alafu regionals zitafuata, alafu labda ya forces pia iko, sijui unajitayarishia mbio gani?
Kwangu najitayarisha mbio ya idara ambayo itakuwa tarehe 25 pale Ngong, so najitayarisha hiyo. Sawa. Nashukuru.
Of course kuna track events pia, sijui labda umejitayarisha kukimbia mbio gani?
Msimu ujao nitakimbia mita 1500. Hapo awali nilikuwa nakimbia zote mbili, mita 800 na mita 1500. Lakini kwa sasa nataka kimbie mita 1500. Nashukuru.
Asante sana. Of course, you've heard from the three athletes. They are all looking forward to the track events, but they have to finish the cross country season. So Mulemi, if you can hear me, what is the next race? Maybe you can tell our listeners and our viewers.
Mr. Kimutai saying that he's gearing up for the next event, that is the interdepartmental games, that is the 1,500 meter, especially saying that the NYS games scheduled for the 15th of February, their headquarters will be one big thing for him, because after that I know they'll be selecting a squad to represent the National Youth Service at the national championships to be held later on. But on your screens right now is the last event of the day, the 10-kilometer senior men's race that will be signaling the end of this beautiful series. 6 of them that have already happened. It happened in Machakos. We went to Kapsokon, we went to Iten, we went to Bomet, we went to All Kalau, and now we are here in Mosocho at the Cardinal Otunga High School, and this is the last event of the Athletics Kenya-Betika cross-country series. It is the 10-kilometer race that begins in a bit, and of course plenty of athletes expected to run in this one, 77 in total. And this promises to be a big one. Of course, Nyanza South has the biggest representation, followed by North Rift, South Rift, and of course Nyanza North. I can see an athlete from Sakwa Sports Club, which shows you that some of these clubs are bringing up athletes, and it's very, very important to see athletes from different clubs coming to feature. We've seen Lemotit dominate the series. We've seen South Rift dominating the series. We've seen Ngong dominating the series in particular races, especially the loop races, which is their specialty, because most of the athletes are middle distance runners in the 1500 and 800 meters. But now it's time to see who reigns supreme in the 10-kilometer senior men's race that begins in a bit. 77 athletes. As we await for the start of this one, of course, prize money for the 2-kilometer loop race, men's race. Mr. Samuel Kimutai will be walking home. So you wait for that to happen. Those are the athletes that will be walking home with at least something in the pocket at the beginning of this year. You can see Mr. Vincent Keter, Mr. Biagon, and Mr. Kimutai. In the loop race, the winner pockets 10,000 shillings. So Vincent Keter will be winning 10,000 shillings, followed by Biagon 7,000 shillings, and 5,000 shillings for Mr. Simon Keter. And Vincent Keter of course has shared his vision, including representing the country at the World Indoors later this month. And that is Solomon Kimutai, winner of 5,000 shillings, representing the National Youth Service, who came in third in the loop race. Mr. Biagon, Justice Biagon, 7,000 shillings for finishing second in the loop race. And Vincent Keter, former world under-20 champion in the 1500 meters, won it at the Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi, and now winner in Mosocho, 10,000 shillings, the man who trains in Ngong. That is Vincent Keter. Now we can see him clearly winning the 2-kilometer loop race, and he's not been on the podium, but this is first 5 minutes 34 seconds is the time he used to finish the 2-kilometer loop race. Justice Kipkorir be gone 5 minutes 36 seconds. Solomon Kimutai 5 minutes 37 seconds. Nathan Kiprono 5 minutes 42, and Vincent Kipkurui 5 minutes 43 seconds. Now, time for the last event of the day. In 4 minutes time, the 10-kilometer senior men's race. 2 laps on this course, because 1 lap is 2 kilometers. So we are ready for yet another spectacle. What do you expect to happen here, Bernard?
Yeah, of course. As you've said, I think we have about how many athletes? About 77. This is the highest today. Of course, in most of the races that we've gone, we've seen more than 100 athletes competing, but today we have 77. And we expect a good race here. We expect some competition. We want to know who will win, who will emerge a winner. We have the likes of Emmanuel Kiprono from South Rift. We have Franklin Juma Ouru from Sakwa Sports Club, Kevin Makori Momanyi Nyanza South, Dominic Ondari Nyaega Nyanza South, Isaac Kibetingei from North Rift, Francis Kipkorilangat North Rift, Peter Lotino from Imagine Academy South Sudan. Oh, we have athletes from South Sudan here. That is Peter Lotino Akileo. Then we have Amos Cheruiyot from Meguera Athletics Club. We have Christopher Okochi Achonga from Western, Letaya Simon Tolu from South Rift, Kimutai Ernest from Police, and then Vincent Oruko Okerio from KWS. And of course, we have Job Nyangaresi from Nyanza South, Peter Kipchirchir. All these athletes will be battling it out and eyeing to emerge, of course, in the podium positions. And of course, remember, they are being the first 10 position are being rewarded. Of course, it has been spectacular. We have had 6 series since we started, and of course, each race has its own history. Remember, we had a muddy course in Bomet. We had a dry course in Machakos. And we had a windy one in Iten and very cold. And now here at least it's sunny, and of course the 10 kilometers men's senior race has started beautiful here. Athletes sprinting and jostling to get the right positions as they seek to emerge winners in this race. And of course we have one of the athletes, of course that is one of the legends, I think, running with this legendary athlete. So I was saying that of the 77 athletes, we are looking forward to get a winner here. And it has been a great day here. Of course, you can see the scenery here. We are in Kisii. Of course, it's not raining. It's not, but it's green. It has been raining recently. And of course, there are no rains here today. But of course, we expect a good race here in the 10 kilometers senior race.
And of course, several lessons learned from the series, because at the beginning, not very fast times were posted, but then heading into the last few series, we've seen athletes posting very, very impressive times. Of course, a couple of names missing, because right now is when many races globally take place. Of course, there's the World Indoor Championships coming later on this month. Kenya will be represented. We have the track and field coming up in February. Of course, we'll also have the Sirikwa Classic, yet another global event happening at the Lobo Village Resort. Also ushering in for the National Cross Country Championships on 23rd. The National Cross Country comes on 8th of February, and then the Sirikwa Classic comes on the 23rd of February. Both will be in Uasin Gishu County, with the Sirikwa Classic at the Lobo Village Resort and the Eldoret Sports Club hosting the National Cross Country Championships. Remember, that is the place where Beatrice Chebet also rose, dominated, and went on to win the World Cross Country Championship. But now it's time for the 10-kilometer senior men's race. 5 laps of this one. Bernard, you're looking forward to the season. I know you're like, why don't it just start today?
Of course, they have to get ready for this event. And I'm really happy because the cross country is coming back to Eldoret. We call it the city of champions. All the champions live here. They live there. When you walk on the streets, you see them. You get to brush shoulders with these champions, of course. But we are looking forward to a great event. And the two events, I know many people will be turning up to cheer the athletes, and also athletes will be looking forward to compete in these events. So of course I can see Mary Mora there passing by there, and of course we'll be talking to her later to get to know what she thinks about the cross-country events, having competed in some of these events herself. As you can see the pictures there, this beautiful scenery that I can see. That is the Kisii Oyugis road. There you can see that road there, and these athletes are just running inside the school track. It's a 2-kilometer event. Of course, some officials there enjoying the dance, and of course the pictures there you can see athletes. Good pictures from the drone. Yeah, it's the 6th Athletics Kenya Betika Cross Country weekend series, and the last one before we head to the county championships, which will be happening next weekend across all the counties in this country. Then we shall have the regions, about 14 regions. An interesting one will be the North Rift region, who are being hosted in Turkana County. You know, North Rift has it has 5 counties. That is Samburu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Turkana, West Pokot, and Trans Nzoia. And they normally host these events rotational. It's a rotational thing. So last time they went to Samburu, and this time I'm told they are going to Turkana. Now, what happens in Turkana? They normally, athletes start the race very early in the morning at 6 because of the weather conditions. It's very hot there, and the sun normally gets very hot when at about 9. So the first race will be starting at about 6 until 8, and then the 2 other races of the day will take place in the evening at around 4 or 5. So it's an interesting pattern. It's an interesting thing to I think I'll be able to attend that one. It's interesting because seeing athletes competing very early in the morning and also in the evening, and it's one event. It's because of the harsh conditions in Turkana.
I'd really love to cover that because I'm looking at the conditions. I'm like, how do you start racing at 6 and by 8 everything is just finished? It's something that we really need to do and watch out very keenly. But then Asbel Kiprop, he did well in Bomet and Machakos also. I think he won in Machakos and is on course, of course, to maybe finishing on the podium here, because you look at his running style, he's very strong. He's a man who has always shown that he has the capability of getting to the podium and making sure that his work is done. In Olkalau, he didn't really have a very good outing. Francis Kipkorir Langat currently in second. It's a battle between Asbel and Kiprop, Kipkorir Francis now in second place. But then you talked about the leg being held in Turkana. I'm just looking at the level of competition, especially with Samburu, West Pokot, and of course Turkana. Many athletes coming from there. Of course, we've talked about the likes of Simiyu Ebenyo, one of the great athletes ever come from that region, 10,000 meter step specialist. What's the turnout, especially when it comes to such races, bearing the fact that even the timings are quite strange?
Well, remember the counties are doing their championships so that they can be able to select six of the best athletes in every category that will be heading to the regional level. So these athletes normally, of course, it is represented. Every county is represented at the regional level. Now, when we get to maybe Turkana, that is at the regional level, people because athletics doesn't happen there. It's a rare thing. It doesn't happen each and every time. So you'll see people turn out to watch athletes competing. They want to see what are these people doing, these athletes doing. Actually, we have one of the football team that has been training in at the shores of Lake Turkana. I think it's called. I'll tell you the name of the team. They normally train very early in the morning to get that breeze from the Lake Turkana, because it's very hot during the day. So it's an interesting place to be, and I think the Athletics Kenya president went there last time. The last time they were doing this, and he was really impressed, and he thought of even taking there a bigger event so that people can be able to know. Of course, you mentioned about the likes of Simiu, who comes from Samburu. We have athletes who came from Turkana also. These athletes, we have a rare some few of them who normally come and compete very well, and they head all the way to the national and of course internationally. And this one, it's an inspiration to those who want to try this sport. It's an inspiration to those who want to do athletics. So actually, it's a good thing to have that rotational thing, and I'll be happy to to follow these athletes, especially those who will be competing in Turkana.
Looking forward to everything that will be happening down there in Turkana. Of course, the North Rift region will be having their competition in Turkana. The crowd enjoying every bit of this one. Of course, energy drinks just to energize and of course making sure that everyone is alert on this one. And if you're joining us, this is the last event of the day at the Cardinal Otunga Mosocho-Kisii, Kitutu Chache. And of course the area MP, Mr. Honorable Anthony Kibagend, he's been following closely events happening here today. A place that has made sure that it's on the national scene with great names coming out of this place. In football, we have the likes of Paulo Nyera, we have the likes of the Ondieki, Yobesh Ondieki, very great name coming from this region. And we've also seen from the neighboring places the likes of Mary Mora, you call her Kisii Express, Nyamira Express, whichever name you want to, but she's a global star. She's in the house. We'll be speaking to her in a bit. But then looking at this race right now, the leading pack, 7 athletes, 8 athletes to be precise, and now 73 catching up.
And of course, we have a lot of people following up online, and I'll mention one of the athletes, a student athlete. She's a student in US, Caroline Chepkorir from Washington State University. She's telling me that I'm not sleeping. You know, in America, they're supposed to be sleeping now, and of course, she's saying that I'm watching live from Washington State University, and I'm not sleeping until the last race. So, of course, a shout out to Caroline Chepkorir. Thank you so much for watching this race. And then, of course, we have people like William. William, of course, William is the one who has been organizing and taking these students to the US under Town Hall. It's called Town Hall Group. So I want to wish well all the Town Hall Group in the US, all the fraternity, the Silas, all of them. They are doing a marvelous job, because these athletes are going to compete. As I said, they will be able to join Team Kenya at the Olympics in 2028, because actually it's happening in their home. It's happening in US where they are. So a shout out to Caroline Chepkorir. All the best. I know you are watching and then listening. So pongezi sana, work hard in school, and we want to see you also winning races there at the NCAA championships. That is cross country, indoor, and of course outdoor events. We wish you well. So Molemi, of course we've seen now these are 4 athletes leading. Now the men have separated with the boys. So it's we are waiting to see. It's an interesting race, and of course we want to see who will emerge a champion here today.
And hot and humid conditions here in Kisii, meaning that it's officially January, and we'll be hoping to see what happens at the end of this race. Of course, Francis Kipkorir Langat still leading, and closely being followed by Asbel Kiprop halfway through this 10-kilometer senior men's race. Asbel Kiprop in second place currently, with Edwin Kiplangat Bet in third. Asbel, winner from Machakos, will be hoping to make it a double. Edwin Kiplangat Bet also ensuring that he stays within touching distance of Kipkorir. Also coming in the picture is Amos Kipto Birgen of North Rift, another big name, now in fourth. And of course many interviews coming up. So Francis Kipkorir Langat in the lead, followed by Asbel Kiprop, Edwin Langat, and Amos Kipto Birgen. The beautiful scenes of Mosocho Township. Can see good. Can see plenty of vegetation, livestock, tall buildings, and of course the school itself, Mosocho, the Cardinal Otunga Mosocho. But then we'll also have coaches who sharpen up. We have coaches who sharpen these athletes, and I'll hand you over to Charity to speak to Mr. Kira. Over to you, Charity.
Thank you so much, Rotich and Magut. I'm joined here by the head coach for Team Kenya, Julius Kirwa. Kirwa, what have been your observations? Observation yako imekuwa gani tangu tuanze hii series ya cross country hii season?
Observation yangu, first of all, I must thank the Betika for coming in to inject some incentive to our athletes, and this is why there are so many athletes that they have already turned up since we start our series. So that is where I am really happy about that incentive for the athlete to come up instead of going for races like marathon, like 10 kilometers outside the country. But now it's okay.
There are concerns that you really wanted the steeplechasers to be here. So far, also me during the season, I've seen about 2 of them. Perhaps what's your comments on that?
Yeah, that one is not good for our athletes right now, because most of them, they did not come for training or for the championship. So to catch their standard at the moment, because this one is good for athletes, those who are participating in 3,000 meters steeplechase, because as you know, the course that we are using during cross country is a build-up where you can get strength, stamina, and endurance. Those athletes, they were supposed to turn up, but I have seen about 2 who have already turned up, And that is not enough. It is not enough. And I hope they should pull up their socks to come and follow our guideline during cross country. Yes, it is good for development for those athletes to turn up.
I've seen some of the sprinters like David Sanayek responding. He was here competing in the 2-kilometer loop. How is it important for the sprinters?
Yes, it is important for the sprints to get something called endurance speed. Because as you know, when we finish, we are now winding up our cross country, then we go back again to track. When we go to track, we need them because sooner we will have our relay. The relay is going to give us a lot of work, and if our athletes are not really proper prepared, then we cannot be able to have a relay. As you know, we are really targeting the Tokyo. We are targeting the Tokyo. And again, they must know that our tracks, the track that we are using, the one which is being the one we are using for them to qualify is only Kasarani. The other one, Kasarani and Nyayo. So we are really in a problem that our federation is taking on it, so that we can see if we will do our own training and competition in a place where it has been sanctioned by World Athletics.
Thank you so much, Kira. That was head coach of Athletics Kenya, Julius Kira. He's raising his concerns about the steeplechasers who have turned up in low numbers during the cross-country season, and is also urging sprinters to continue competing in the 2-kilometer loop to helping with the endurance as they prepare for the world relays. Over to you, Rotich and Mulemi, as we continue with the 10-kilometer race, which is the last race for this event.
Thank you so much, Charity. That was Charity talking to the national head coach, that is Julius Kirwa. Julius Kirwa has been able to take the team to the international level on various events across the world. And of course, as we continue watching this race, we have 3 athletes stuck together. We have Francis Kipkorir Langat, and then followed by Edwin Kiplangat and Asbel Kiprop. Remember, Asbel managed to run well at the Machakos. That was the first series, and it has been a long journey. Mulemi, we started from Machakos, went to Kapsukuony in Mount Elgon, Bungoma County, then went back to Iten. That was the third series, and then of course went to Bomet, and then Olkalau, and then we are here in Mosocho-Kisii. So actually, this is the sixth Athletics Kenya Betika cross-country weekend series and the last one. And of course, we don't see many athletes competing here, but I think they are preparing for the next weekend's event. That will be the county editions, and of course the defense forces. And all these athletes are preparing for the national events. And of course, you heard from the president, Athletics Kenya President General Tuwei, saying that the nationals shall be held in Eldoret, that is the city of champions.
Plenty of insights, of course, and just learning that right now there's no facility that can host these athletes for track and field events currently, because most of the stadia in the country are currently undergoing renovations. The Kasarani is undergoing renovation, almost 70% done, maybe on the terraces and maybe the field, and not the track. Nyayo Stadium also the same kind of problem, so it will be a really huge task to see these athletes compete here at home. But the series will have to go on. But then when it comes to the national championships, we need at least Nyayo Stadium or Kasarani ready. Remember last year we had a problem with the Olympic trials, because most of these athletes the national trials were held at in Oregon for the 5,000 and the 10,000, and for the other races, we did the trials, yes, at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, but then it's not World Athletics accredited, Athletics accredited facility, so it's a really tall order to. But we can always wait and see what happens, because the facilities at Nyayo and Kasarani are almost completion because of the big football events coming up. Of course, the African Nations Championships, commonly known as the CHAN, will be hosted in this country from the 8th of February. And then we'll have the Africa Cup of Nations coming on 2 years from now, that is 2027. So plenty of big sporting events coming up. But then in athletics, we have the Sirikwa Classic that will be coming on 23rd of February at the Lobo Village Resort, and then we'll have the cup of all these weekend cross-country series, the Athletics Kenya-Betika cross-country series. That is the national Athletics Kenya-Betika cross-country series that will be happening on the 8th of February at the Eldoret Sports Club. But on the screen right now are the leading athletes in this 10-kilometer senior men's race. Asbel Kiprop still in second. Francis Kikorir Langat is the leading athlete right now as we speak. And Edwin Kiplangat Bet is now in third place. It is the 10-kilometer senior men's race, and it's now getting tighter, it's getting hotter, and it's getting faster. Asbel Kiprop, winner in Machakos, now taking the lead for the first time in this race. It is the last lap of this one, and Asbel Kiprop decides that what I did in Machakos is what I want to do now, and has taken a stride or two ahead of Francis Kipkorir and Edwin Kiplangat Bet. This is very tight, but I've also seen a masters athlete competing in this one, and that is Nixon Muganda of Nyanza South. He is running in this one. It shows you that there are no barriers to this one. Whatever age, it is just okay to run. And of course, he's competing in this one. Mr. Nixon Muganda, congratulations for at least showing that age is no limit. Age has no barrier when it comes to athletics. Now exchanging the lead, and now hitting the front is Edwin Kiplangat Bet. Seems to be running a very tactical race, but then watch out for Asbel, who knows exactly what it takes to finish on the podium, having done so not in one occasion but two.
Yeah, we have athletes who run a smart race, that is a tactical race, so that they can be able to win. And you see, Asbel is hanging on behind Francis Langat from North Rift, and I think if you follow their history, maybe they are training together. So in Iten, and we are yet to know that. And of course, we have Edwin Bet from Police. Of course, Edwin Bet is leading, and then of course followed by Asbel Kiprop, and then Francis Kipkorir is third, who has been dropped a little bit. And as I was saying, maybe if you follow the two athletes, of course Edwin managed to win in Kapsukwony. He won in Kapsukwony, if I can remember well. That is, so these athletes have been consistent in the cross-country events, and that is why I normally say for an athlete to do well in these events, they have to be consistent, because you miss 2 or 3 of these events, when you come back, you find competition on another level. The security officers there, as you can see, the security here is tight, and you are waiting to see how the last few meters will unfold, and of course we'll have a winner. Will it be the Machakos cross-country series winner, or the Kapsukwony cross-country series winner? So we are waiting to see, and it has been a good race. It has been competitive. We've enjoyed the races since morning, and we are waiting to see what will come out of the race at the end of this last race.
Edwin Kiplangat Bet of Police, of course, did the best to win the was it the third leg in second leg in Kapsokony, and Asbel Kiprono won the Machakos leg. So it is between two athletes who have a pedigree of winning. They've already tested victory in different series during the cross-country meets, weekend meets, and now it is Edwin hitting the front. He stretched the lead against Asbel. Francis Kipkorir-Langat from North Rift is now in third, but that is Edwin Kiplangat Bet now taking the lead and is now extending it. He knows that he has what it takes. Won the second leg of this series in Kapsokony, and then he's here in Kisii, in Mosocho, at the Cardinal Otunga school, trying out to see if he can see the job done, and he looks really confident as he takes that bend. It's been a very, very, very tactical race, as you can see, courtesy of Athletics Kenyan Athletics, who've really come in handy to ensure that many of these athletes who come down here have a reason to smile, because the winner of this race will be walking home with 50,000 Kenya shillings, with second place, of course, walking with 40,000 shillings, 30,000 shillings for the third place, with 20,000 for the fourth place. Edwin, winner in Kapsokony, in cruise control of this one. Asbel Kiprop falling quite back. Did it in a quite flat surface, low altitude Machakos. Edwin doing well in high altitude. Did it in Kapsokony on high altitude. Doing it again in Kisii. It's very, very interesting. It means that each terrain has its own king, and now it's Edwin almost making sure that he repeats what he did in Kapsokony during the second leg of the Athletics Kenya series as he heads towards the last few hundred meters of this race. It is Edwin taking that bend. It looks really confident. I'm trying to locate where Asbel is. We've just talked about altitude. Look at Edwin. He's celebrating just before he gets there. Asbel Kiprop following quite fast, but then it will be Edwin Kiplangat Bet, born on 26th of May 2000, coming home to win the 10-kilometer senior men's race. Asbel Kiprop, winner in Machakos, couldn't make it in Kisii, but coming in, finishing in the podium for the second time. Asbel Kiprop, and Francis Langat claims third place.
Amazing. That was a good race, and as you can see, he was just finishing while jogging. And of course, I think having finished the series, I think he will be looking forward now, because he represents national police. He will be going to compete at the national police championships, and the national championships, police championships, shall be held, of course, on January 17th. So he has at least 2 weeks to recover from this race, and who knows? Maybe he'll be able to. I don't know if Geoffrey Kamorori is still running cross-country events, because he has always been there running and winning these races. So we are looking forward to see what will happen at the national championships. So far, so good. It has been a good race. We will be hearing for the athletes themselves shortly, and get to know what they are really expecting this season.
And maybe just before we head over to the track side to listen to what these athletes have to say, what has been your most memorable moment in this whole series? My most memorable moment is Naomi Corrie dominating the 2-kilometer loop race from start to finish. If she was here today, I bet she could have maybe just won it.
Well, for me, I can also say that was my memorable moment. But of course, the sixth series saw a sprint finish in the junior category, which was really good. That shows that there is a stiff competition in the junior event, and I think having seen the federation and the Ministry of Sports starting about 52 camps, I think for the junior, this is the results. We are now seeing the results. Of course, they did not sleep while at home. They were really training hard. So of course, we shall be listening to the interviews shortly and get to know what the athletes are saying. But it has been a good event. It has been a good series since we started in Machakos, went to Kapsakwony, Iten, Bomet, Olkalau, and now in Mosocho. It has been a good event of a cross-country series. Now, we have those athletes who could not compete in this series, and they have a chance to compete at the county level. We have the county championships happening from next weekend. We have the defense forces like KDF. They are hosting their event next weekend. We have the national police, and we have Kenya prisons. We have KWS. We have NYS, and then of course the regional levels. All these athletes are going to meet at the nationals in Eldoret at the sports club on February 8th. And now this will pave way for the last cross country, and that will be the Sirikwa Classic, which is a world cross country gold tour event that will be held on February 23rd. So it has been a good one for me. I really enjoy seeing athletes competing in these cross countries. And of course, we've had several courses. We have dry courses, we have muddy courses, we have obstacles along the courses. So it has been a good event.
And just talking about events that are coming up, of course, the World Indoors, and I know you are so deep into the athletic circle. What do we expect from Team Kenya heading into the World Indoors later on this month?
Actually, World Indoors is not happening this month. Of course, we have several World Indoor events, but the World Championships, that is the World Indoor Championship, shall be held in March. That is in China, Guangzhou, China, and Nanjing, China. These names are really hard. Nanjing, China, on 21st to 23rd of March. And we, of course, Kenya will be sending a team. We've not been doing so well in indoors. Remember, last time we were beaten by Ethiopians in Africa, and I think going to the event, I know the federation is going to send a strong team that will be able to represent the country, so that we can be able to bag and bring medals. Remember, when we get to these events, we always look forward to a good representation from the athletes.
Talking about good representations, of course, we'll have a couple of events lined up, as Bernard has told you. We're also waiting to hear from the winners, the podium finishers in the 10-kilometer senior men's race that was won by the 10-kilometer race that was won by Edwin Kiplangat Bet, with Asbel Kiprop coming in second and Francis Kipkorir coming in third. Of course, on your screens, athletes still finishing that race. So it is a race that has had podium finishers both from Machakos and Kapsakwony. Of course, Edwin Kiplangat won it in Kapsakwony during the second leg of the Athletics Kenya Betika weekend cross-country meet, and Asbel Kiprop, winner of the first leg that was held in Machakos. So it is a very beautiful beautiful scene here in Machakos, and not in Machakos, we are in Mosocho. Of course, Machakos was the place where we all began, and this is the place where it all ends, here Mosocho at the Cardinal Otunga High School. And we are ready now for the interviews, and I'll be handing you over to Charity on the track side to speak to the podium finishers in this one. Over to you, Charity.
Thank you so so much, Rotich and Mulemi. This is the final event, and also for the interviews, I'm joined here by Edwin Bet. Edwin, congratulations. Competition haijakuwa rahisi, joto ndio hiyo. Nini imekupea motisha ukiendelea kukimbia?
Mimi nashukuru Mungu nimechukua mbio leo. So mimi nashukuru coach Joseph Bet. Tunatrain Gringet. So hali tulikuwa joto lakini nilivumilia. CFC si mbaya. Yeah.
Aha, so sasa hivi vile umeweza kushinda leo, umekuwa na podium finish tena kwa hii season. Mpango wako ni gani kwa hii season vile tunaelekea Tokyo?
Bado wangu sichajua kwa manager, la mimi naenda kuomba tenga ya maafa because mwili si mbaya sahi. Yeah, tunatayarisha ya police tarehe 17. Na mimi naona nitaenda kukimbia vizuri. Thank you.
Okay, all the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
That was Edwin Bed saying that he's yet to prepare he's going to be preparing for the race that will be assigned to by his manager. I'm also joined here by number 2, who is Asbel Kiprono. Asbel Kiprono won at Machakos, and Iteni was position 2. Na leo umekuwa number 2. Inamaanisha nini kwako?
Kwanza kabisa nataka nishukuru Mungu kwa hii ushindi. Sikuwa natarajia naweza chukua nambari la pili, lakini nimejaribu na race ilikuwa competitive sana, lakini nikasema wacha nijaribu tuone vile itakuwa.
So sasa hii ni kwa mazoezi yako, nini utaenda kuongezea kidogo, na hii season tunatarajia nini kutoka kwako?
Kwa hii season nataka nijitarajie nikimbilie Kenya team kwa cross. Hiyo ni mpango yangu kwa hii season.
All the best and congratulations.
Asante.
Okay. I'm also joined by number 3, who is Francis Langat. Francis, competition imekuwa vipi kwako?
Kwanza waje nishukuru Mungu kwa uwezo wake ametulinda. Tumekuja tangu jana mpaka siku ya leo. Nashukuru Mungu kwa ushindi wa leo. Mashindano ya leo ilikuwa ngumu na joto pia ilikuwa juu sana. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa changamoto kwetu.
Na sasa hivi ile season inaendelea, mpango wako ni gani?
Mpango yangu sasa hii mimi naona tuanze counties ya cross country ndio tuende region, alafu Lobo mimi nataka nikimbie leo Lobo village mwezi wa pili.
Na ushakimbia tena huko Lobo?
Nimewahi kimbia nikiwa junior. Last year nilikuwa number 9 2 km. Ndio.
Aha, hii mwaka pia cross country ya national championships itakuwa huko. Una feel aje?
Matarajio yangu ya kwa national na chipanga vizuri ndio nikimbia national niingie Kenya team. Hiyo ndio tutashukuru Mungu.
Okay. All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
As we wait for the mountain running chairman Peter Angoenyi, I'm here with Rotich, and we're going to be talking about how the races has been. Rotich, you've covered the entire 6 series of the cross country. How has it been for you, and what are among your big takeaways?
Well, thank you so much. It has been a good experience for me, because this time round I said I want to go to all the races, the 6 series, and I must say that we have talent. We have talent, and athletes have been motivated to run. Why? Because we have good prize money. And it's good because we have a new partner with the federation, so that the athletes can be able to be motivated. Giving prize to top 10 is a good thing. And I think having seen all the athletes competing in these events in the 6 series, I think those who did not get a chance now are able to compete at the county level, because from next week we have the county level, and then we will move to the regional level, and then of course to the national championships. And I'm happy because of what? The national event is now coming to Eldoret. We call it the City of Champions. It's being held in Eldoret, and then of course after that we have the World Gold Tour event.
Thank you so much. Perhaps as before we go back to Euroteach, I'm here with Peter Angwenyi. Angwenyi has been our host and he's also going to be hosting us once again at Tinderent. Angwenyi, so far how has been the experience for you here at home? How was the competition?
Thank you very much, Charity. This has been a great experience. First and foremost, I want to say that we are at Cardinal Otunga. We are at Cardinal Otunga High School, Mosocho. This was where cross country was started many years ago, way back in 1963, by the founders of this school, who sponsored it from the Catholic Church, right from the Netherlands. I want to say that it has been a great day. We have been blessed that the athletes turned up in great numbers. Over 800 had registered online, and those who picked the numbers according to the rules were more than a half of the people who registered, and we're very happy. We are saying that the coverage has also been very good, because any event, once given good publicity, good profiling the event, we want to take this opportunity also to thank the media. They have turned up in great numbers and they have profiled the race very well. The athletes are very happy that this time they are getting enough mileage. They are also getting good prize money, courtesy of Ak-Betika and Athletics Kenya. I want to thank those who turned up in great numbers, and the teachers and the coaches and the officials who have visited today, together with the Father Estate.
Thank you so much. We have the Tinderent mountain running coming up, which has been sponsored by Magical Kenya. Perhaps, is the registration still going on? And for any person who wants to register, what is the process?
Thank you very much. As a chairman of mountain running in Kenya, I want to say that Tinderent has now become an international race. We are having it on 18th at the Tinderent in Nandi County. It is being sponsored by Kenya Tourism Board, together with several other sponsors. It is in the series of KTB, and that is the first time we're having this series, and we hope that the registration is online, and we are appealing for more people to register online. For the top runners, mountain running, Kenya is #1 in the world. And our top 10 runners who are ranked by World Mountain Running and World Athletics, we are calling upon them to come and compete at Tinderent, because Athletics Kenya has given us a chance to select a provisional team to represent the country during the World Mountain Running Championships, which will be held in Spain in September. This provisional team will request them to train as they go out for the World Series and come back in time to prepare for the World Championships. So Tinderent will be the best place for the athletes to come and get selected for the provisional team, Team Kenya provisional team, World Mountain Running. We will be selecting 4 teams, the two junior teams and the 2 senior teams. Once we get the sponsorship, then all the 4 teams will be in Spain come September.
Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Charity. I know as the media is also doing its part in the development of athletics in this country. As one of those who has been in the media before, we want to encourage more people to come into the development of athletics through media as professionals, as you are one of them.
Thank you so much. I'm also joined by mwenyeji wa hapa. She's the Olympics bronze medalist in the 800 meters and also the world champion. Mary Mora, karibu sana. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Mwaka mpya umetupangia nini?
I can say I'm ready to defend my title for this coming World Championship. I can say the way we have been talking with my coach and maybe the advice from my colleague, the likes of Helen, my mentor, the likes of Beatrice, the likes of Faith and the other people, we are ready and we are going for it. Yeah.
Vile tunaelekea sasa regionals cross country, alafu tuingie police cross country championship. Tutakuwa na kwa police cross country?
Hiyo ni kawaida kwa police championship, lazima tutaonekana huko. Lazima tuwakilisha kikosi ndio waone tuko. Yes.
Mora, season unaanzia wapi? Main track and field unaanzia wapi?
Track and field ndio sasa hivi ni cross country, kisha ndio tutaingia track and field, and I think tutapatana kwa track and field because this is not my event, but ikifika police championship cross country tutapatana huko kama build up, tena tuingie kwa track and field.
Kitu ingine, Olympic season, what are some of the lessons you learned?
I can say at Olympics it was a nice event, and all of us we were strong, and kila time we expect Mora akwe front train because there is somebody mwenye ametrain huko na anatafuta hiyo medal. So ile medal yenye nilipata niliridhika nayo, na it's a good medal to me, and it's a big achievement to me, my family, and to our country and my fans. So nili appreciate na kitu yenye nilipata, na my colleagues wenye walikuwa in front of me, the likes of Kilio Kingston and Dukma, they are my competitors. So lazima ningefurahia because all of us we are women and we are chasing one thing.
Hiyo medal ya Olympics ilimaanisha nini kwako?
Naweza sema ili add some value in my life. It's a big achievement. Naweza sema it's a big medal hata kuliko ya World Championship because it is not easy kupata kitu kama hiyo.
You work hard for the mixed relay team to also qualify for the Olympics. Now we are going for the World Championships. Will you be giving them the same moral support?
I can say in a relay, lazima tukuche pamoja as a team. We put our heads together. We calculate how we going to make this relay ishine huko mbele ama tupate qualification ya kwenda like kama tisia tulikuwa Olympics, tulifight mpaka the last minute tukapata qualification. Naweza sema siwezi achilia because it's like inanisaidia mimi kama Mary Mora ku get that speed na kusaidia wengine, tunakuwa sa team. Isikuwe eti Mora ndiye ako kwa hiyo team kila wakati. Tunafuruta wengine, tunakuwa kitu moja. So bado tuna focus, we are going to look for it na tutaendelea mbele.
Na world relays utaenda huko maybe kutafuta speed?
Hapo coach ndiye ataamua, but for me kama Mary Mora I'm ready, but coach akisema no, that is it.
Okay, all the best and congratulations.
Thank you so much, na karibuni Kisii, the home of champion. Musisemange ni Eldoret peke yake because Ellen ametoka huko, kina Charles, kina Yantika, this is Mora and there is Aaron Obiri. Welcome to the home of champions.
Thank you so much. That was Mary Mora talking about her season, our Olympic season, how it has been, and she's saying that she's ready and she'll be going to defend her title come Tokyo in September. As we wind up, we're going to get some overview of how the event is, how the event was from Mulemi and Rotich. Mulemi, the 6 series, you've already moved around and covered them. How the experience so far? Before we used to do only the national championships, maybe, and the trials for the event that is coming up. How important do you feel that the broadcasting of this event is for you?
To be honest, beaming this live to the global audience and of course athletics lovers is something that I can say has opened up these athletes, because they know that even scouts who are not even attending here can watch from various places. As Rotich said when you are doing the commentary, it's not about finishing on the podium but also exposing yourself to the world, and that is exactly what this broadcast has enabled us. And for the first time we managed to cover the 6 legs of the Athletics Kenya-Betika cross-country series, which is a history on its own, and kudos to the organizers, kudos to Athletics Kenya, and of course the hosts of different venues from Machakos. We went to Kapsokon, we went to Iten, we went to Bomet, we went to Olkalau, and now we're finishing in Kisii. It's something that we can always say will open up even the minds of these athletes, whereby most of them are only seen during the National Athletics Championship, the National Cross Country Championship, the Sirikwa, the Chepsaitas, but not on this level. So it brings that excitement that heading into the future, hoping that also the track and field events will be covered also live this way. It opens up these athletes with the mentality, how they prepare to attack the track and the course. It's something that has really been good, and credit to everyone who's made this possible.
Thank you so much. Rotich, I know you're happy that we're coming back. Lakini parting shot ni gani?
I want to wish athletes a happy new year, of course, and I must say they have been a great company, because seeing them compete in such events, everybody wants to do well. It has been a great event. 6 series done. And now we are going to the counties, we are going to the regional level, and then nationals. And then, of course, we have one of the World Cross Country Gold Tour event that is coming later in February. So seeing athletes competing in such events and going for that prize, of course, it's motivating for them, because we have good prize money. And seeing athletes doing very well, everybody wants to compete and be in top 10. It has been a wonderful event. So I'm happy the year started, and we've started on a high note. This is the 6th leg, and now we are going to the counties and then to the regional level and the discipline forces, and of course all the way to the nationals. We expect a great season. Remember, we have World Indoor Championships, we have World Relay Championships, we have World Athletics Championships, and we have World Road Running Championships. So it's a fully packed season for the athletes, and we expect to see a lot of athletes doing well. And I wish them all the very best.
It's been wonderful having you for the 6th series. Hopefully that we'll meet in the next event. Until from now, for now, we say goodbye from Greg Mulemi and Badan Rotich, and I, Charity Wanja. See you, and a happy new year for you.